We gotta wake up. Get up. Get amplified. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My amplified unit. Get amplified. Not tomorrow, not in an hour, right now. Please get amplified. Because we got a lot to talk about, man. Monday Night Raw, Halloween edition, 10/31/22. Hold on. Let me make sure I got playback on both. Check. 1, 2. The amplified man is in front of you. LIVE. Let's destroy the WWE. No, I'm playing. No. We want the best for WWE. Hold up. All right, I got decent playback on both sets, guys, on the Sony noise canceling bass boosting headphones and what I like to do a little better, which is the earbuds. So I got good playback. Let me know if anything transpires throughout the stream. If I yell too loud and I end up busting more mics. What's up, everybody? First of all, I know there were some super chats during the 55-minute warning that I was going live. There was a bunch of super chats. I even saw a banger bomb, and I think that was more than a $100 banger bomb, man. If this is Dave Mealy again, Dave, I got fucking coffee for the rest of the year, bro. You guys are the fucking best. I'll get to those at the end of the show, I assure you. But there was a banger bomb, and there was a bunch of coffees being thrown over to BC. I will get to you guys. There's a what's up, man? Yes. That's what I like to see up in that chat, man. The fucking fires are going. The banger bombs are going. The fucking biceps are rocking. The delts are jumping off the screen. You guys are amplified, bro. That's what I like to see. Some energy up in this bitch. We can't treat this like we're some common fucking dipshit in the community who's gonna talk some wrestling for the next hour and let's try to discuss it. No, we got to try to make WWE whole again, man. We got to make this shit better again. We got to put it back onto the pedestal that it once was at. And there's only one way to do that, and that's being honest, man. So on this channel, we piss a lot of people off because we are so honest, you know. So if you're a fan of somebody, and we're not talking about them in the highest of praises because of booking, for instance, you're gonna get upset. You're going to cry, and I'm like, fuck you, and you're going to tell me that you're leaving as if I'm an airport and I need to know that you're announcing your departure. I'm not an airport. Just hit the fucking bricks. Or if you need help, we'll boot you the fuck out. But we have to be honest, right? I'm a fan of Bray Wyatt. I'm a fan of Sasha Banks. But in such, Io Sky. But when there's bad booking, we have to talk about it. So, and you could find things entertaining throughout the show, by the way, too. That's good for you. But we discussed the show and what it does for the individuals, what it's doing for the shows coming up, the booking for the future, what it's doing long-term wise, what it's doing for the company, right? We dissect that. So we piss a lot of people off, but we gain a lot of badass, no bullshitters. And those are the type of subs that I want on this channel. I call them the amplified unit. And together, one day, we will change the landscape of this bitch, I assure you. Slowly but surely, we keep fucking building. So that's my little intro here. Be prepared to get your fucking panties in a bunch and say, basically, you're being harsh. No, I'm not. The booking that I saw last night, we can't even blame Vince McMahon, I'm being told. This is a Triple H production. Basically, he still has some of Vince's guys working for him, man. He can't do the whole 3 hours. Well, the whole fucking 3 hours, I see holes in the program that are so large, I don't even know if they can be filled by the end of the year. So before we put Triple H on a fucking mountaintop, let's call it the same way we were for Vince McMahon. Let's not be dishonest. Let's not be fucking stunad. Which in Italian, that means stupid, by the way. For my non-Italianos over there, man, that's stunad. I was called that a lot by my nonni, which is Italian for grandmother. So she smartened me up when I was a younger BC. But don't be a stunad, man. If you're going to claim shit, right? We see little change, no doubt, man. People got their names back. Some fucking semblance of a storyline here, maybe there. But in the grand scheme of the structuring of this show, bro, you better call Triple H out when it is not good. If you found some of the segments entertaining, that's good. I'm not even being sarcastic. That's all that matters. If you sat down after a long day at work or school and you were entertained by R-Truth hopping down to the ring, spanking his plastic pony, if that made you laugh, awesome. The truth is that we saw the same fucking shit for years under Vince McMahon. Every time somebody would say the word true or truth would come out. And we'd have fucking 4 minutes of comedy. And we go, oh man, R-Truth is so funny. Because we love R-Truth. He is funny. But this does nothing for R-Truth. It does nothing for who he's in the program with, the segment. And it does nothing long term. So we're basically taking the same thing that Vince did for years, and we're doing it again under the guise of Triple H. Why is BC the only person saying this? I saw the guy hop to the ring spanking his plastic pony, dressed up as a cowboy. Nobody else sees a problem with this. We're just supposed to go, but he's funny, basically. It's harmless. It's Halloween. No, he does this shit every single week. For the last 2 years, he was just chasing around Dana Brooke, so maybe beggars can't be choosers. At least he's coming to the ring by himself now. I tell you every fucking year, I said it on last night's live stream, every fucking year they don't change the formula of trick or street fight. You just see the same fucking type of match with new participants in it. They don't try to change anything. Somebody is going to get hit over the head with the fucking Mars bar or the Three Musketeers in the eyeball. The fucking Smarties or the Jolly Ranchers are going to be cracked over your head. Or you're going to get power bombed, not through thumbtacks, but through a mountain of Skittles. You're going to get this shit all the time. And by the end of the match, somebody is going to wear a pumpkin head, right? You're going to take one of your wrestlers that you would hope would be taken seriously, and you're going to put a pumpkin on them. You're going to make them a pumpkin head. And last night, it was a tree trunk that turned into a pumpkin head. It was a pumpkin head tree trunk. Oh, we're going to talk all about it. But it was funny, basically. Basically, I laughed. Why can't you see the funniness that Triple H is giving us? But you weren't laughing at this shit. You weren't laughing at this when Vince McMahon was doing it. Now how the narrative has changed. The narrative has changed. Now it's, oh, well, they do this every year, basically. It's a Halloween tradition. Give Triple H some slack. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the F-U-C-K? What the fuck are you talking about? We trashed this under McMahon because we saw the same fucking thing every year with new participants. We're just asking, hey, it's cool if you want to do a Halloween theme show. It's cool, but can you change up shit? These trick or street fights are fucking trash. On top of that, you have to take one of your wrestlers and put a fucking pumpkin on them. And then you have a botched finish like last night when an RK Bro was put on Otis and the fucking pumpkin head fell off his head. So the whole thing was botched. And by the time the 1, 2, 3, the crowd was kind of like, oh, it would have been cooler maybe if the pumpkin was on. Or maybe just don't put the fucking pumpkin on a guy who should be taken seriously. You know, you watched last night and you watched somebody like Nikki Cross, she just turned back to Nikki Cross, the one that we love, last week. It was just 1 week ago, guys. It was 1 fucking week ago that she turned into the Nikki Cross we all love. And we were all talking this week, oh shit, man, the women's division could change. This could be a game changer with this type of Nikki Cross. And in the very first match that she has back, the very first one, she's already taking on the champion and fucking flat on her back. 1, 2, 3. Well, where the fuck do you need to see Nikki next? Where do you see what do you do? What do you do, huh? What do you do? I'm going to tell you what you do. There's nothing you can do. You have just literally put a fucking final nail for Nikki Cross. Fuck you going to do? Did you go back and watch the segment? Because I did. I watched it twice. Just to make sure that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Do you know what happened? Watch after she gets beat. And Alexa and Asuka come down because Damage Control beat up fucking Bianca because we knew that was going to happen because we saw it for 3 months. Watch what happened with Nikki Cross. She rolls over to the ropes. She sees everybody fighting and she just rolls out of the ring like she just passed out. Because the referee's obviously telling her, you're done. You got beat. You're no longer involved in any of this. You can go to the back. Triple H says he might have something for you next week. That's what happened. She looked so fucking bad. She took the KOD and then she rolled out. Now you say, BC, Bianca cannot afford to lose that. You say it all the time, BC. You say all the time the champion should not be losing. Absolutely, Bianca should never lose that match. The point is, don't book the fucking match with somebody who desperately needs a W like Nikki Cross because she just turned into Nikki Cross again. And then you book her with your champion. What the fuck does that do? Why would Nikki lose flat on her back 1, 2, 3 the first match she has her identity back? Who would book that shit? We used to say Vince would. Now, we have to be honest. Paul Levesque would. But we're not allowed to say that. We're not allowed to say that now. No, it's fucking changed, man. You gotta give it time, man. Give it time. I saw the fucking tag team champions of Damage Control. I saw them lose the tag titles on a Monday Night Raw last night, not even advertised beforehand. After this segment, Asuka and Alexa are like, I want a match with them. And all of a sudden, we get a fucking tag team match. And after 49 days of a title reign, Damage Control... I was just literally saying how Damage Control is finally, just last week, I started saying they're finally getting some momentum, it looks like. It looks like Triple H finally gives a fuck about Damage Control because Io and Dakota just had a big match against, who was it? Raquel and, can somebody confirm in the chat, last Friday maybe? It was Raquel and Shotzi that got beat by Io and Dakota. Maybe that was 2 SmackDowns ago. And then Bayley won a big match last week. Maybe that was against Candice LeRae. I forget. But back-to-back big W's. It looked like they beat up Candice LeRae last Monday. Or Friday, one of those fucking shows. They beat up Candice LeRae backstage, and it was cool. They shoved down the camera, and you just heard the beating. So it was cool. They were trying new things. They were winning finally. And BC told you guys, I go, dude, they're fine. It looks like we might finally see Damage. Bayley, if she gets the title at Crown Jewel, all 3 members would have gold. And finally, everybody, even the casual fan, would look at 3 ladies that are badass in pro wrestling, because they are badass. Io, Dakota, and Bayley are badass. They're all really great at what they do. And we would finally look at them as the badasses they should be in a faction. And what the fuck did H do just days before Crown Jewel? He didn't even give us a chance to have that type of a moment. He just took the titles on a Monday Night Raw on a match that was advertised during the show. It was made just because of backstage friction. The match is made for later in the night, and Dakota and Io are eating a fucking loss, and they're dropping their titles. And you have people trying to justify this shit. They're like, it wasn't... Here's the thing, basically, you're not understanding. See, H realized that Damage Control just wasn't working, basically. So what happened... you have to understand how it works backstage, basically. See, Triple H pulled the plug on it. That's all that happened. No harm, no foul, basically. Nothing to see here. He just switched the titles so it's no more damage to Damage Control or anyone else. That's what happened, basically. Triple H just saw that it wasn't working, basically. What the fuck are you talking about? Please, do yourself a favor and everybody else. Please stop watching professional wrestling. Please. Or if you're going to watch it, please don't try to commentate on it. Please don't try to critique it. Please don't try to dissect it. Because damn, that is a horrible take. That is a bad, bad take. He just all of a sudden, after giving them W's and seeing momentum, these are 3 badass ladies on their own. What the fuck do you mean together they're not going to work? Do you even realize what you're saying? But they wouldn't work, is what we're being told. When they were starting to fucking bloom, to fucking blossom. And H just pulls a booking botch like this. And I love Asuka. You guys know that? And Alexa Bliss, I've been so high on. Her work with Bray Wyatt, I felt was impeccable. People didn't like it. Some people, that's fine with them. Eye of the beholder. I loved what Alexa Bliss has been doing with Bray. After that, she was just lost. So, I mean, for her, at least she's getting something. I'm sure I don't even know what this does for Asuka and Alexa. What am I saying? Asuka and Alexa, they're just thrown into a tag team now. With fucking titles that don't mean shit. Did you guys see my Sasha Naomi Truth video that I put up 2 days ago? That tag division is non-existent. Those tag titles... they're no different. If you go into your bathroom right now, you take a fucking shit, and you go to take your toilet paper, I want you to look at that toilet paper, because that's basically the tag titles in World Wrestling Entertainment. There's no difference between your toilet paper and the tag titles. The only difference is your toilet paper might be 2-ply. The tag titles in World Wrestling Entertainment are 1-ply. So I love fucking Asuka and Alexa Bliss. And this does nothing. This does absolutely nothing. Can you just build the fucking titles for just one fucking reign, Triple H, Paul Levesque? Can you just let the titles be prestigious? Because if you don't let the titles become prestigious, the titles will continue to be 1-ply toilet paper, 1-ply Charmin. The titles will never be prestigious if you have a 49-day title reign with 2 of some of the best wrestlers in the world for females. Because that's what I said about Io and Dakota. That's right, I said it. They are awesome at what they do for a living. Basically, don't worry, they might get it back, man. Maybe Crown Jewel, there'll be a split-off match. Maybe next week they'll get it back. But basically, we'll play some hot potato with the titles. Because that'll make them prestigious, of course. Guys, I can't. If you enjoyed the show because you had some laughs, that's great. Again, that's not even sarcasm. That's awesome. If you like R-Truth riding down to the ring, hopping on his fucking plastic pony, and he's fucking straddling that shit, spanking it, because he heard the word truth, man, and you saw Otis with a pumpkin head, and you got your Trick or Street candy match, and you got fucking new champions, Asuka and Alexa, because they have nothing for them, so they threw them together, and they're like, hey, well, what if we just give you some toilet paper? Yeah, you can hold the toilet paper through the airport now. If you guys honestly enjoyed that, man, I that's good for you. I don't even have the energy. Well, I do have the energy. I'm amplified 24/7 because all I do is drink fucking coffee. But I don't even need to explain myself to people who honestly enjoy this shit. Like 3 hours, and they're just like, they have no clue how BC is finding holes in these shows. Basically, you're being too harsh, man. I'm not seeing any issue. I sat down after a hard day. I enjoyed it. And then I shut it off, and I'm like, man, this stuff is awesome. This program is amazing. If that is you, I don't even know how you found this channel or why you're watching, because we do something totally different here. We actually critique the show to make it better, so we can maybe get a 2.5 in the ratings one day. Basically, it's 2022. That'll never happen. Bullshit. There are absolutely shows and sporting shows and entertainment shows that get way more than 2.5. Relax. Cord cutting doesn't change that. Hulu doesn't change that. The Tube doesn't change that. You can absolutely pull a 2.5 on a Monday Night Raw, and you should have been for the last 10 years. But this is what happens when you produce a 3-hour show that nobody knows what the fuck's happening because the booking is so ass backwards. Why is Damien Priest losing a match last night? Why is your Money in the Bank briefcase holder Austin Theory losing a match last night? Why is Nikki Cross, who just got her identity back, losing a match last night? Why is your tag champions after 49 days losing matches last night and their titles? Why is Otis wearing a pumpkin head? Why is R-Truth on a plastic pony? Why is Ali talking about the size of Miz's penis? Basically, because it's entertainment, man. It's just entertainment. The harshness, I can hear it in your voice, basically. It's harsh. And you wonder why we can't produce consistently good shows, and then we'll all sit there and we'll go, today after the rating or whatever the fuck, we'll sit there and we'll blame everything. A holiday, man! A holiday! Monday Night Football! Football, basically! Nobody will put responsibility that the show just fucking sucked. We can laugh at certain shit. We can enjoy certain shit. But if you're actually critiquing the show and saying, hey, does this make me want to tune in next week? What did this do for the characters? What did this do for the trajectory of the fucking future of WWE? It did nothing. It just muddied the waters. It blurred the lines. It tainted the entire fucking spectrum of the company. I don't know how you do that to Damage Control. I don't. Anyway, that's my cold open. What'd I go? 10, 15 minutes? Oh, 20 minutes. Damn. All right. Well, I had a lot to say in that cold open. And I'm going to break it down even more if you want to stick around because I want to go right from the fucking jump. I know I got some super chaps, like I'm a fucking Englishman. Super chaps with super chats coming in. I will get you guys at the end of this show because I have so much to say. I want to make sure that you guys get it in before I start blowing mics and stuff and fucking microphones start fucking catching fire because the amplification is so fucking crazy. So I want to start from the top, man, if you don't mind, because I have a lot to say and I'm not too happy about this shit. I'm not happy about this at all. And Paul Levesque needs to hear this shit. Paul Levesque needs to be careful because he is falling under the same fucking spectrum that we followed for the last 10 years. Bianca Belair is in a match with Nikki Cross to start the show. Why? Why? Can I pull a New Day here instead of who? Why is Bianca, a person who has the championship and should not be losing, taking on Nikki Cross, who just got her identity back and can't lose the match? Why would you book this fucking match on Monday Night Raw? Why? I'd rather see fucking Bianca take on two fucking local talents in a jobber match and then Damage Control beats her up afterwards. That's fine. Why the fuck do you have to have Bianca and Nikki in there? Why does that have to happen at the start of the show? And then Bianca Belair, and as she should because she's champion, she cannot lose. Bianca defeats Nikki Cross via the KOD. Bianca defeats Nikki Cross via the KOD. 1, 2, 3. Flat on her back. Damage Control beats up Bianca afterwards. And you watch Nikki. Watch Nikki. Right? BC, it set up the storyline after for Nikki. That's okay. No, it didn't. Watch what Nikki did afterwards. She rolls out of the ring. The ref screams to her, get out, get out. You're fucking yesterday's news. You lost. Now you're not a part of this anymore. And Nikki just has to fall to the mat outside and play dead until Alexa and Asuka come down and they have their little riff-raff with the Damage Control. That Nikki Cross was totally just fucking shit on last. What the fuck was last week's cliffhanger with her turning into Nikki Cross for? We just saw her face the champ. Flat on her back. 1, 2, 3. That's the introduction to Nikki Cross. Guys, what am I missing? Please tell me in the chat. Because I'll right now, I will backtrack any part of what I am missing. Did Nikki Cross just come back under her new identity, her old identity, and lose her very first match flat on her back? Is that what happened? And then she rolled to the outside and played dead, correct? Alexi, thank you. Renee G, thank you. I'm WWE, AEW Marvel fan. I'm trying to fucking Kendall. Carlos, JR9, what the fuck? Johnny Thunder, what the fuck? D Stans, Eric, Dead Fred, Wisdom, what the fuck? I'm trying to, I'm asking, what did I miss? Because I watched it 2 to 3 times. And I'm trying to see where the booking could be good here. Where the booking. And then after Nikki Cross rolled out, Alexa and Asuka come running down the ring. We haven't seen them for a couple weeks because we were hoping Triple H was giving them some singles booking somehow. They were planning something out. They came back together. The way we've seen them for 3 months while they play in this 6-woman tag thing with all of Damage Control. How is that? Alexa and Asuka still together because H refuses to give them anything singly. So they come out, and then it's just Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa having a beef with Damage Control. Does that sound familiar? We've been seeing that for 3 months. Don't tell me that's long-term booking, by the way. That is the same exact booking every show. We see them just brawling. That's not a storyline. That's not long-term booking. That's long-term snoozing. Same thing. And then backstage, you're going to love this. Alexa and Asuka backstage. Alexa and Asuka say they want Damage Control in a match later. Somehow this becomes a fucking title match, by the way. Wave your fucking wand and expecto petroleum. There it is. Straight fucking magic. By the way, Dunkin' Donuts has their new holiday cups if anybody has a Dunkin' nearby. Go get your holiday cups over at Dunkin'. They're not paying me for that, but I just noticed they're different cups. Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Yeah, there you go, man. Just boom. Snap your fingers, you get a title shot. And in a few hours, I'll talk about how they actually lost the titles after 49 days. That's right. That actually happened. So, I don't know what this first 25 minutes did for anybody. I really don't. I got to see... I love all these females. They're exceptional. Bianca Belair, exceptional. And she just gets better and better. Alexa Bliss, ever since she's worked with Bray, I saw a whole nother side of her. Alexa Bliss has gained all of my respect. Io Sky is one of my favorite wrestlers in the world for the women, right behind Sasha Banks. Bayley earned my respect. The moment she turned heel, I was like, dude, this is the best Bayley. Dakota Kai is just badass. One word, badass. Two words together. All of these ladies, man. Asuka, come on. You don't even need BC to tell you. Certified fucking ass kicker. Their booking for months has been atrocious. It did nothing for Damage Control. Alexa and Asuka just thrown together is the same thing as Asuka. Do you realize, guys, JR9, are you still in there? Please confirm this. Didn't Asuka have tag team title reigns with fucking multiple other people? Kairi Sane? Asuka was already a tag title holder with Kairi Sane, which led to nothing. Kairi Sane wanted out of the company. That's how bad the booking was. Kairi Sane said, get the fuck me out of here, please. Please, I'll buy my own fucking ticket. I'll buy out my contract. Please get me out. And wasn't she also a tag team champion with, fuck, there was somebody else I thought. Charlotte Flair. Was it Charlotte? Oh, I didn't think it was Charlotte. I knew it was somebody else. Okay, so Charlotte Flair, tag team champion. Charlotte Flair to this day doesn't have a connection with the majority of the crowd. And Asuka was thrown to the wayside while she was a singles champion. She had to hold the hand of Lana in a tag team. Do you guys remember that? The only difference is with Lana that she never held a tag title. But Asuka was in a tag team with Kairi Sane that led nowhere called the Kabuki Warriors. Then she was in a tag team with Lana, and the only reason that split up was because Charlotte came back, and Vince wanted Asuka to give Charlotte a rub. Nobody could give Charlotte a rub, though, because nobody connects with Charlotte. Same thing with Roman when he was being shoved down our throats as a face. And they tried to bring back The Rock in Philadelphia at Royal Rumble, held up Roman's hands, and The Rock got booed out of Philadelphia because there was no connection with face Roman. We needed him to turn heel, and now look, we were right. You know, when fans say, or when people say, oh, man, we yell and we scream and we're not fans. We just criticize and we're so negative. Well, without us, you wouldn't have gotten heel Roman. And you'd still be getting face 50-50 reaction Roman getting booed out of buildings. Nobody caring about shit. Now you're getting storylines like Sami Zayn. Now you're getting Mr. Acknowledge Me, and he's a huge merchandise seller to a new level. Without people like us voicing these frustrations, you don't get the Yes Movement's Daniel Bryan culminating moment at WrestleMania 30. You would have never gotten Stone Cold Steve Austin. We helped turn the tide. What? You would have never gotten The Rock had we not done what we done to Rocky Maivia. We do this for change. Asuka in a tag team with Kairi Sane. Asuka in a tag team with Lana. Asuka in a tag team with Charlotte Flair. Asuka in a tag team with Alexa. How the fuck do you have... You cannot put together 4 to 5 huge storylines for Asuka a year? Bare minimum, guys, just to show you that I'm not being outrageous with my statements. 4 to 5 good... 4. Let's keep it 4, right? 2 to 3 months at a pop. You can't give Asuka 4 good storylines with somebody a year. Nope. For years, Asuka has had nothing. Nothing. And right now, with a tag title, you think this is a storyline? You think this is fun? They're going to play some hot potato? Are they going to hold it for a month? Maybe 2 months? Whoa! Can they break Damage Control's record of 49 days? Can they make it 50 days? Asuka was in a tag team with Naomi as well, DeMonte. Yes, that's true. I don't know how anybody can defend this shit. And then they go afterwards and they click on channels like this and they go, man, you're harsh, man. It was a fun show. It was Halloween. I watched with my kid, Johnson. He just went trick-or-treating. Me and Johnson, we watched the show. We laughed. We giggled. We go, oh my God, this is so fun. And then we shut it. I can't believe you're this harsh, man. Such negativity coming from you. What are you talking about? I love this fucking company. I love professional wrestling. I created the fucking channel because I love shooting the shit with everybody and trying to get my voice heard to the people that need to fucking hear it to change it for the best. You guys know deep down I'm correct, even the fucking ninja watchers that never fucking smash the up, they never leave a fucking comment, they refuse to sub, right? The Ninja Watchers, they're just going to watch BC every fucking video, but they don't say a fucking word. They don't even press the fucking up. But they know everything BC says is correct. And that's why they watch every fucking time. Whether it's hundreds live with 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes of notice, or thousands that are going to end up watching this over the next 24 hours. Everybody knows I tell the fucking truth. This opening 25 minutes was absolutely bullshit. It did nothing for anybody. And by the end of the night, it would turn even worse. We'll get to that. We move on to a backstage interview with both Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. Clearly, Brock never received the memo because his chair is empty during this interview. So, Bobby just begins cutting the promo anyway by himself. Brock eventually does show up, but he takes a wrong turn backstage, I guess, and he heads right to the fucking ring. Lashley decides, well, fuck, that's a good idea. I'm gonna go to the ring as well. That's like a shark and a bear trying to take a car ride together. It's not gonna work, right? The shark and the bear are gonna flip over the car while the ride is in occurrence. Well, this is Bob Lashley and fucking Brock, two fucking behemoths colliding once again. So they start brawling, of course, upon fucking meeting one another again. They proceed to deconstruct one another. And even Triple H is out there trying to separate it. Triple H is screaming to him, if you keep hitting each other, I'm going to call off the match. So that was a nice little twist. I wish he would spend more time booking properly instead of trying to make a cameo out there. But it did add, I guess, to the segment because we've already seen these two dudes in a brawl segment. So now you're just basically rehashing it. In fact, I thought the first brawl segment a few weeks ago was better than this brawl segment. So I'm sure Triple H thought it was his interjection into this was going to be the fucking, the little difference in the two brawls. Because that's the only difference. Triple H came down. The only other difference is Brock Lesnar was sporting a Megadeth shirt. Pretty badass. Yeah, so H was out there trying to separate these two mountains. That's it. There's the segment, and that's supposed to make... Guys, I don't mind the first brawl. I wish we got more creative over the next 2 weeks. We didn't, and they said, hey, you know what? Just go out there and brawl again. There's not too much you're going to get with a promo segment with Bobby and Brock. That's not their strong suit, right? That's why Brock had Paul for so many years. That's why Bobby had MVP for a few years. When Bobby and Brock are going to have a promo 5-minute session, it's not going to end well. It's not going to be good. We know that. So I'm sure they thought they just, listen, they're two big mountains. Let them just fucking collide. Create a thunderstorm. But I think we're all looking forward to this match because it is Bobby and Brock. Point blank simple, right? This is a match that should have happened years ago. So it doesn't really matter what happened, I guess. This is one of those matches. I wouldn't call it a dream match, but it's definitely a match that I think both dudes are really going to try to... Let's just say this. There's going to be some stiff shots in this match, and there's going to be receipts. Kevin Owens just cut an interview. Kevin Owens said one of the hardest people to wrestle because he's such a fucking like a legit badass, and it just hurts. He says one of the wrestlers that just hurt the most is Bobby Lashley. Not because he's careless, by the way. He's really good at what he does. It hurts. He's a behemoth, and he's gonna make it look real. And you're gonna get. It's not ballet. It's the old saying. So you do that with Brock Lesnar, and there's going to be receipts and vice versa. So I'm looking forward to that. But storyline-wise, man, not good. It was just the same old fucking brawl segment. I mean, the Megadeth shirt on Brock Lesnar got more of a pop than anything from BC. Seth Rollins then defeated Austin Theory via the Stomp. It was a good match, no question, right? It's not like BC's not going to call it like it is. It was a good match. I never thought Seth Rollins and Austin Theory wouldn't be a good match. But there's major problems that we have to talk about. We have to. Why is Theory in this match? I said this about Nikki Cross and Bianca. Why are they in a match together when neither can lose? Seth Rollins, who's on a clear trajectory to somewhere, where we don't know, we hope that Triple H knows, and Austin Theory has the Money in the Bank briefcase, and it seems like he's losing every match. That's not the case due to wins and losses and the actual facts, but it seems it because his booking is so poor. So by the time he even attempts to cash in, nobody's going to give a fuck. So why is Rollins, in theory, in a match? Two fucking heels. Two heels in a match where neither can lose. And one of them is a Money in the Bank contract holder. Explain to me the reasoning. Anybody right now, explain to me, please, if I am missing something. Why have a match with two heels, which none of them can lose, and then one of them is a Money in the Bank briefcase holder? What is this doing for Rollins? You think later today anyone's even gonna remember who the fuck Seth Rollins beat last night? So what does it do for Theory? Maybe that's a good thing. If people do forget about it, because they'll forget that Theory is the one that got pinned. Tamonte, I don't think I fucking am. Yeah, Corey Graves, that's what the kids call a banger. No, JR9, I didn't even think of that. Rollins doesn't even have a fucking match. I thought he did. But I didn't even get to that yet. Marie, I don't have a fucking clue. DJ, they don't care about Theory. They just wanted a good match for... I mean, it seems that way. He's got the briefcase, though. They better find out something with this kid, dude. They have to find out something to do with him. This is not happening, bro. And why the fuck are two heels in a match anyway? What the fuck was two heels? Thank goodness they sing this dude's fucking... They sing this guy's song. Otherwise, there'd be no fucking reaction at all. And I understand it was a good match. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, man. That's our out for everything, right? Anything that's bad or horrible booking-wise, we just go, but it was a good match. Like this is real competition. It's predetermined. It's planned. It's scripted. Okay, they put on some good fucking moves. Professional wrestling is more than that. If you want to watch just moves, go watch amateur wrestling. Go watch people fight in the UFC. Go watch a boxing match. They'll counter each other. They'll put on some good fucking moves and counters. I don't give a fuck if you put on 6 Canadian destroyers and 5 moonsaults and 17 pedigrees off the top rope. I care about the storyline. Where's it going? Why should I care about the people? Why? Fuck your bangers. Fuck your good matches. Ricky Steamboat and Macho Man from WrestleMania 3 was an unbelievable match. You know why? Not just for what happened in the ring. It's because we gave a fuck about it. Michaels and Undertaker, 25. You know why it was a great match? Not just because what they did in the ring. We gave a fuck. Hart Michaels, 12. We gave a fuck. They don't even have to be good wrestlers. Sergeant Slaughter, Hulk Hogan, 7. You're not going to get a classic 7-star Melty Boy rating. But we cared. Middle of a fucking war. Sergeant Slaughter is the anti-fucking USA guy. Hulk Hogan is Mr. USA. And it's a fucking... You just had to fucking witness it. You had to feel it. Ultimate Warrior, Rick Rude, SummerSlam. Ultimate Warrior. Who many say never had a fucking ounce of any skill in his body for pro wrestling, and he put on matches that I've watched time after time after time. If you're asking me, will I ever go back and watch Seth Rollins and Austin Theory, it's not going to happen. I would never waste my time watching it again because it was a good match. It was a good match. He did the move, and he jumped over him, and he countered, and the sequence was amazing. Oh, my God. They must have rehearsed it for like 20 minutes before because there was one sequence where they did a ring around the Rousey is what Kevin Patrick calls it. It was a ring around the Rousey. I'm the only fucking podcaster, I'm the only fucking YouTuber that's going to tell you the fucking truth. Keep having your little bangers. Keep having your good matches. And help drive professional wrestling deep into the fucking ground. Or maybe Triple H will be there, Paul Levesque with the fucking final nail, and he'll hammer pro wrestling in himself. Oh, I'm on it today, man. I'm just not having it. Not having it today. Not having it. Not having it. Halloween show, basically. It's funny, man. Just laugh. Hour 1 ends with Roman Reigns pulling up in his limo with Paul Heyman. That ends hour number 1. Hour number 2, Roman Reigns is middle of the ring. He says, this is a quote, "Let's be honest, I'm the greatest of all time." I love it. Tell us how you really feel, Tribal Chief. He says he has Jey Uso and Sami Zayn out in the world working on their Usi skills. So apparently, the next time you see Sami and Jey Uso, they're going to be much more Usi. The Miz comes out and he's trying to strike a deal with Roman. Help him keep an eye out for Dexter Lumis during his upcoming match with Mustafa Ali. And in return, he will teach Roman all he knows about Logan Paul. Roman contemplates it for a brief moment before striking his own deal with Miz's dome piece via a Superman punch. Wabaka! And Miz is knocked out flat. On his way to the back, Roman was completely amplified, screaming into the camera, screaming at everybody in the crowd, just screaming about how everything in WWE is now his. Raw is his show. SmackDown is his show. Crown Jewel is going to be his bitch. I own it all. So no matter how you feel about Roman, at least, I love that amplification in Roman Reigns. That was pretty fucking badass, actually. And he was just screaming at the camera, like, yes, where's this on the microphone, bro? Keep that momentum, Roman. Backstage, Miz is being treated for a supposed broken jaw. Now, Ali shows up and says, and I quote, "It's a shame you're trying to get out of your match. You know, they say everything is bigger in Texas." He then looks down at Miz's crotch, and he says, "Well, almost everything." And he tells Miz he has tiny balls. Okay, here's the deal. So you had a grown man look at another grown man's package after saying, they say everything's bigger in Texas, but not your penis. Basically, is what he's doing, right? Everything's bigger, and then he looks down at Miz's fucking crotch. And he looks back up, and he says, "You have tiny balls." How did you laugh at that? How would you write that? I don't know where you grew up, but if another fucking man just looked at my fucking dick and said, "You have tiny ball," I'd be like, what the fuck? And they'd be through a wall. I don't understand how that would even be acceptable on a what the fuck? Why would a professional wrestler look at this dude's package and say, "You have tiny balls"? That's not weird or creepy to anybody? Ali had to do that. I doubt very much this was Ali's idea, guys. Somebody wrote this on a piece of paper. Somebody wrote that. They wrote the words, or they typed the words. Ali then walks into the Miz's training room. Ali stands beside him and says, "Everything is bigger in Texas, you know." And then he stares at his penis. He looks back up and says, "You have tiny balls." And he walks away. Somebody wrote that shit. Somebody wrote that shit. This show, man. This show doesn't realize like who their audience is an 18 to 49 demo over 70%. After that, you have nearly 18%-ish of over 49. I don't understand who is laughing at this shit. I don't understand like who's like there is no grown adult that I know, no man for sure that I know that would walk up to another dude and stare at his crotch, look up and say, "You have tiny anything." No dude that I know would ever even think of doing that. It's not real. You claim you don't like Bray Wyatt's hocus pocus magic. It's ruining pro wrestling. Well, that's even more fake. That's the problem. I don't mind comedy, right? So what Sami Zayn did on Friday, we're still talking about how hilarious that was. So funny that everybody broke character. That's funny. Johnny Gargano, he could have the worst booking whatsoever. Somehow the dude is just so damn funny. But if you're producing this type of comedy, where even R-Truth cannot save what he is doing because he's straddling a fucking plastic pony while hopping to the ring dressed as a cowboy. Or Otis is wearing a fucking pumpkin on his head. Or Ali is forced to talk about a fucking man's package. At what point do you guys say this is stupid? This is not funny. And Triple H just lets it go, man. Yeah, look at his crotch and then look at him and go, "Wow, you have a tiny package." Because that's what guys do, man. That's what we do. Who the fuck was Triple H hanging around? Well, maybe, actually, with fucking Shawn Michaels. You never fucking know back in his day. Anyway, if you laughed, good for you, man. BC was fucking mortified that Ali was put in that situation. Up next, Damien Priest versus Carl Anderson. 6.5-minute match that ended with Carl Anderson defeating Damien Priest via what is it? What was it? Amplified unit. What did he beat him with? It was an awe-inspiring, ultra devastating Farut roll-up. You guys know if you're ever in a jam in professional wrestling and you can't win, you don't know how, what else is it going to take? You just threw everything but the kitchen sink at your opponent. He's not being defeated. Boom! Light bulb should go off in your dome piece. The fruit roll-up. It may be the fruitiest move in all of pro wrestling, but it's also the most awe-inspiring, the most ultra of devastating moves, and it will always defeat your opponent. Just ask Shayna Baszler what the fruitiness can do. The fruitiness has defeated Shayna Baszler every fucking match in less than 2 minutes, it seems. True shit. I see you guys throwing up the fucking fruit. You knew how exactly fucking Damien Priest lost this match. That's a lot of fucking fruit. Yeah, hey, JR9, did you notice that we're starting to see a lot more fucking fruitiness on these shows again, man? We're starting to see a lot more fruit roll-ups. The fruit roll-ups are making a comeback. Just as the shows are getting weirder and the booking is starting to not make sense. I'm not saying you know who is getting more and more control yet again. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to jinx it. But damn, it ain't looking good, man. The roll-ups are coming back. Thank you guys for the 150 on the ups, by the way, man. I know we've had a lot to say, and BC is not happy today, and I'm just glad that at least $150 of you up front can handle the amplification, can handle the truth, and you know that what BC is saying is coming from a point in my heart where I love pro wrestling, and I want to see this get better. I hope you guys know that. We scream, we hoot, we holler, we're over animated because we are putting on a YouTube podcast right now, a vidcast I call it, visually and audibly, so we have to be entertaining. So we're going to be a little bit fucking more animated, obviously, but I'm glad that over $150 of you guys smashed that up so I know that you understand where I'm coming from. I really do want a better show, man, for you and for BC and for all of us, for Triple H, for that whole roster, most of them such good talents and can offer so much more. But they're just not being given the time, and not even under Paul Levesque. The littlest of changes, and it's not even a situation where it takes time, BC. No, a lot of shit is just going backwards, I'm seeing. So, I have no idea, man. But Damien Priest losing this, I'm like, why? Why? That's what I ask, man. I said this about Nikki Cross already. Why is she even in a match with Bianca when you know Bianca can't lose? And Nikki can't lose because she just got her identity back. Nikki cannot be in that match. And I asked the same thing with Austin Theory. Why is he in a match with another heel while he's the Money in the Bank briefcase holder and he just loses? Why even book the match? Why book this match with the Judgment Day's Damien Priest when it looks like they're finally getting momentum? Even BC is starting to latch on to Judgment Day over the last several weeks. The Judgment Day is becoming a lot more special to BC, just their presence, the way they line up shoulder to shoulder in their entrance. I'm starting to dig it. The theme music, the way they're being booked was good the past couple of weeks, I felt. And then Damien Priest just loses flat on his back to a tag team guy in Carl Anderson. You say, BC, well, I mean, you got to have matches, man. Not everyone, you got to put two people together. Sometimes it's going to be people that can't lose. No, then just have the jobber match. Just have Damien Priest in there with fucking Goofball Gary. Right? From Dallas, Texas. Goofball Gary. Right? Have him in there with fucking Hammerstone Henry. I don't care who the local jobber talent is. Damien Priest spends 3 or 4 minutes fucking new stewed up, and fucking here comes the OC with a vicious attack. A hacksaw, like Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh, right over the dome piece of Damien. This pisses off Judgment Day, and now we're off to the races with something creative. This does nothing. After this match, which saw Damien just get beat up, Judgment Day just starts beating up OC and AJ Styles. You guys know I'm right. This isn't just a YouTuber complaining, man. He's so negative, man. He's so fucking frustrating. He's so angry. He's frustrated at everything. How is this okay with you to see Damien, who finally got some momentum, just losing on a Monday Night Raw? Do you want to see this guy at a pay-per-view against who now? Who do you need to see Damien Priest wrestle at a pay-per-view and spend your money on? You just saw him get beat by Carl Anderson. Come on, who are you spending? You're gonna go over to the fucking Peacock? You're gonna try to switch for the cock, and then you're gonna fucking jump on it and fucking what? Try to spend your $9.99 to see Damien Priest? No, you're gonna jump right the fuck off that cock. Peacock. Nobody's gonna spend money to see Damien Priest, man. After you see him lose these type of matches, your booking matters. Everything you do matters. So then, as I said, Judgment Day is beating up OC after they lost. Damien Priest already lost, and then you do the thing where the heels just beat up the faces that just beat you, right? It's the common thing you do when you have nothing creative. So then they start beating up OC. And this is a quote. Corey Graves says, and I quote, "Nobody has found a way to neutralize the Judgment Day." What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? F-U-U-U-U-U-C-K. What the fuck is Corey Graves talking about? Nobody can neutralize the Judgment Day when Damien just got beat 1, 2, 3 flat on his back. I call that neutralized. JBL and Baron Corbin are cutting a promo next. R-Truth comes hopping down the aisle dressed like a cowboy, straddling a plastic pony. Can't believe I just said that. But I said that. That's right. Set up the picture. R-Truth. Here's the word truth in Baron Corbin and JBL's promo, which, by the way, Corbin is dressed up like he just raided Carmella's closet. And by the way, much respect and love over to Carmella. She just announced the other day or yesterday on her social that she had a miscarriage. I think it's 2 now. So she had a problem with a recent pregnancy with Corey Graves, I am guessing. And she's really having a difficult time with that right now. So we want to send out the best for Carmella, who's having a really rough time right now and trying to get her ball bearings back in order. So to Carmella, much love and respect. That's where we stop talking about a pro wrestling show, and that's a little bit more real life. And obviously, man, we wish Carmella nothing but the best. We wish for a speedy recovery with anything she's going through, and also Corey Graves. But still doesn't mean I mean Corey Graves is still a blessing to commentary, because without Corey Graves, I don't even want to think about where commentary would be. But he still says some stupid shit too. But JBL and Corbin looks like he just raided Carmella's closet, and R-Truth hears the word truth, and he comes out like a cowboy, and he's got a plastic pony between his legs, and he's hopping, and he's spanking the plastic pony, and he's straddling this horse all the way to the ring. And Truth gets beat up, and that's actually the segment. That's my notes. There's nothing I could even tell you guys of a purpose. There's no purpose. R-Truth was just supposed to go out there, get beat up, so Corbin looks like a badass. This is what I mean about R-Truth. What are we doing? We just reverted back to Vince McMahon's R-Truth. This is where he hears the word true or truth, and then he comes out like some fucking goofball, and we all just laugh. We laugh at the guy dressed as a cowboy, straddling a pony and spanking it as he hops to the ring. And this is the R-Truth that never got over before. We just afterwards go, hey, he's funny, isn't he, R-Truth? He's a laugh. What a hoot. And it never does anything for anybody. It doesn't do anything for him, whoever was in the segment, and it doesn't do anything for long-term storytelling. Does nothing. We know this by history. Sometimes history repeats itself, most of the time, unfortunately. So this did nothing. R-Truth just got beat up, and that was it. And what's funny is Kevin Patrick, at that point, gave zero fucks. Kevin Patrick on commentary said, and I quote, well, things are about to get even more silly. Because that was more English than it was fucking Irish. And I am half Irish, so that is War Dog up in here? War Dog is right, man. My Irish accent has to fucking pick up. But he says, things are about to get even more silly or more weirder or something, man. He just said straight out, because we have a trick or I can't even fucking say. Trick or street fight coming up. So things are going to get even more silly. At least the dude, come on, man. The dude wasn't even trying to bullshit us. I got to give Kevin Patrick some props there, man. I'm not sure it could get more silly than what we just witnessed. More silly than a dude, a professional wrestler, hopping to the ring, straddling and spanking a plastic pony between his legs and fucking with a cowboy hat. I don't know how it can get more silly than that, but we were about to find out with the trick or street fight. So Kevin Patrick was actually legit. But I can't believe they actually let Kevin Patrick say that. He probably went into business for himself and probably got yelled at by Triple H on the fucking mic. But what do you mean it's going to get more silly, more weirder? It's going to be fun. It's Halloween. We're all going to have fun. Everyone's going to sit down with candy and enjoy the pumpkin bash coming up. And that's how we ended our number 2, man. This cowboy R-Truth and his little plastic pony got beat up. And when Corbin came out, this isn't even shade to Corbin, man. I didn't mind Broke Baron Corbin. That character was, I felt, the best. You had something with Broke Baron. It was the first time in Baron Corbin's main roster career where he had something. Broke Baron with his unbuttoned shirt, or fuck, it was like misbuttoned, right? There was buttons were misplaced, so they were buttoned wrong. There was a mustard stain. He was disheveled. He had no fucking I mean, that was the best Baron. Every other Baron Corbin, how many variations of Baron Corbin have we had, and they just don't connect with the audience? Because there was crickets last night when he came out. JBL is so good at what he does. Not even JBL could help Baron Corbin last night. How many variations? There was Lone Wolf Baron Corbin. There was Broke Baron Corbin. There was Happy Baron Corbin. There's JBL Baron Corbin. Money in the Bank brief. What was that? Lone Wolf though. Lone Wolf. Oh, Constable Corbin, the King. That's right. Thank you. JR9. Thank you. So you had Lone Wolf, Constable came off of or before King. That's right. So that was 2 different ones. Lone Wolf, Constable Corbin, King Corbin, Broke Corbin, Happy Corbin, JBL Corbin. That's 6 Corbins in 4 years. And none of them have connected. And you're telling me that's okay. It's not. It means the booking is failing him, or he just isn't cut out to be a world wrestling entertainment superstar. It's just not connecting. I don't want to be harsh. I'm asking what the issue. I don't know which it is. Because with Broke Baron, I saw signs of life in a character. Something could, like if BC's a head writer for Raw, I had about 100 different ways I could go with Broke Baron. This is the stuff I think about sometimes, just like if I'm writer, I always have something for everybody in my dome piece that would launch them into something really fun. I had 100 things with Broke Baron. Happy Corbin, I went into -7 things that I had for him. That ends over, yeah. The ring around the Rouseys, Baron Corbin. That ends hour number 2. Now, going into hour number 3, we have a trick or street fight. Riddle dressed up as Ezekiel with Elias in his corner versus Otis with Chad Gable in his corner. Gable and Otis are dressed as Chip and Dale from the Dirty Dancing movie. I never saw that, but it's actually a play on Patrick Swayze and Chris Farley from Saturday Night Live, an SNL skit, Chip and Dale. So, I mean, I was blown away that they had the balls, Ali. No peeking, no looking at him. Figuratively, the balls, Ali. The balls to actually go and do that shit, man. That takes a lot. To go and try to do a Chris Farley. And Otis knocked it out of the fucking park. And Gable is so funny anyway. Otis is so funny. It was so good to see a little bit of personality with Otis last night once again. Because Vince McMahon took that shit away with the quickness. And they were fucking SNL. Wasn't I just talking? I was just talking to you guys about how a little bit of SNL into WWE can actually help them. Like, for instance, when Sami Zayn made the Bloodline break character on Friday night, that's what happens in SNL sometimes because it's so funny and they're enjoying what they're doing so much that they're laughing at it too. It's like they're just fucking watching themselves almost. Like, that's how they're feeling. It's so funny. And they're vibing with their fellow actors so much. And they're so funny that they just start breaking character. And they try to hide it. And you saw that on Friday. And while you never want to see pro wrestlers break character usually, that worked on Friday. It was fucking phenomenal. And here we are just a couple nights later. And Gable and Otis pull one of the iconic SNL skits from the past with Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze in the Chip and Dale thing, man. That was just fucking... I gotta give props to Gable and Otis, man. That was fucking phenomenal. And this was your Vince McMahon classic. Once you got down to the Trick or Street fight, it was a Vince McMahon classic. It's vintage VKM. If this was Michael Cole being honest and he was calling this, he would say it's vintage Vince McMahon. It's vintage VKM. Because this is what it was. This was no different under Triple H, Paul Levesque. This was one of those matches where you're getting literally powerbombed on a bundle of Jolly Ranchers. You're getting Skittles and Mounds bars and Kit Kats thrown at your head. You have a baseball bat, not winded up with barbed wire. No barbed wire. You had a baseball bat with like fucking licorice, right? Maybe it's one of those string licorices wrapped around it. Or some shit, right? Lollipops are being chucked at you. This is one of those matches, man. That's all it was. Pumpkins are being chucked at you. And by the end of it, as I told you guys in last night's stream, you were going to get a dude. There was going to be a pro wrestler. I told you this last night. There's going to be a pro wrestler that is going to have to wear a pumpkin on his head and walk around the ring like he's a giant fucking idiot. And you just didn't know who was going to draw the short straw. It ended up being Otis. That poor fucking dude who is already being called a fucking tree trunk. Now he's a tree trunk with a pumpkin head. He's Pumpkin Man. Otis wears the 2022 pumpkin on his head. And Riddle tries to hit an RKO on Pumpkin Otis, but the pumpkin is so huge it falls off of Otis during mid-flight down. So as Otis is receiving the RKO, immediately the pumpkin head just pops off, and the crowd is like, oh, because there was supposed to be a splash on the pumpkin was probably supposed to, but it was so fucking huge. It looked so goofy. It just popped right off, and the crowd was like, oh, and then 1, 2, 3, and the crowd was like, okay. I think we should still clap, guys. Golf clap. It was a botched finish because they decided to put a fucking giant pumpkin head like we've never seen this. And this is where people go, it's fun, BC. It's one night only. It's traditional, BC. It's the Trick or Street fight and everybody wears a pumpkin. It's no harm, no foul, BC. It's just, it's for a good laugh. Let's laugh at Otis some more. Let's laugh at fucking the Miz back in there. Let's laugh at Elias or anybody else that had to wear the pumpkin over the last fucking 10 years. Why not do something original? Why does somebody wearing a pumpkin every year have to be traditional in WWE when it clearly doesn't land? It makes your wrestler look like a goofball, an idiot. Let's get creative and let's start a new tradition that makes people fucking want to see a Halloween theme show. I don't know who would laugh at Otis wearing a giant pumpkin head while they call him Tree Trunk. A tree trunk! Oh no, the pumpkin on the tree trunk! That was the call last night. The pumpkin on the tree trunk. This is a guy who just a couple years ago had less than maybe, had a fucking Money in the Bank briefcase. He was he was getting over naturally. People were invested into what Otis was doing. He was getting he was in a good storyline with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville and even Dolph of all people. Good storyline. He got the Money in the Bank briefcase. He's getting over. Fans are loving the WORM. This is a dude who had it all. And then Vince took it away and told him to go to NXT and come back mean mugging and lose your personality. You know, there was a moment where Otis screamed out, "One night only." He screamed out, "One night only." And all of a sudden, he did the WORM. The old school Scotty Too Hottie. You guys see it last night? He fucking did it. One night only, he says. Because he already did the dance with the fucking Chippendale shit. So he does the fucking, the caterpillar, and he drops the elbow. Now here's what BC says. Why? Why is this one night only? When the fucking pop was astounding. Why does this dude still have his personality locked up in charisma prison? That's my question. That's my fucking question. Why? Chat, why is his personality locked up in charisma prison? Anybody have a clue? Should it not come back full time? A personality with Otis? WWE, AEW, I have no idea. Guys, please stick to the topic. Don't worry about who got fucking booted or who was fucking rude or who's coming back. Please stick to the topic, because when I go to the chat, I don't have a lot of time. I need to know that we're all on the same page, man. Please stick to the topics, man. Display any charisma. Thou shalt not display the charisma. Who is that, Gary? Vince is doing this, DB. Probably. DeMonte, no fucking clue. Why does Otis not have a fucking personality? Wisdom of Charlie. Otis deserves a solo run, no doubt, with a personality, because the guy's hilarious and he can go in the ring and the fans connected with him. I don't understand. All right, I just wanted your guys' input on this. I'm thinking, is this just BC who thinks like Otis? Otis and Gable can still even remain. You can remain in a tag team, Alpha Academy. I just asked for better booking and actually make them a tag team that actually, here's a crazy concept, picks up victories every now and again. But why not have Otis be comedic with Gable? Like, why is Gable the only comedy one and Otis just sits there mean mugging? It's doing nothing for Otis when we know this guy is fucking hilarious. I don't understand. And it looks like you guys are just as fucking mind-boggled. Like, where the fuck is this guy's personality? Last night, he got a massive pop when he did that shit. And he screamed, "One night only." Why? Because they're afraid you're going to get over? Is Paul Levesque, just like Vince, afraid that you might get over and they don't want to push you? Because that's what it seems like. Vince changed his mind and totally ruined the momentum of Otis when he got the briefcase. And now it looks like Paul Levesque was told by Vince strategically, do not push this guy. A 60 minutes satire skit was next to show 60 Minutes. They did a satire skit with Byron Saxton interviewing Johnny Gargano. And he's blowing the whistle on the Miz and Dexter's relationship. He's telling the truth about why why this thing with Dexter and Miz is even happening. And this was so obnoxious, but Johnny Wrestling is just so damn great that BC was just all in for the storytelling. BC grabbed his coffee and I'm like, give him a half an hour, just tell me a story. Because Johnny Gargano is fucking Johnny Gargano is so good at telling stories, man. Like, just figuratively and just literally. But even in storylines, I mean, he's so good in them. We saw that in NXT so many times. So, I mean, you can't help. It was like a train wreck. You couldn't help rubberneck and watch, you know what I mean? Because he's telling this story, and none of it, that's the one problem. None of this is making fucking sense. None of it is making sense. He's trying to, I mean, and it's the writers. It's not Johnny, obviously. They're telling him to say this shit, but he had to go back, and some of the things that literally, if you're telling this story, wouldn't make sense, they had to try to kind of cover their tracks. And they would go back to, like, when Dexter Lumis was literally making him pass out from that choke or costing him that match inside the cage for the championship. And Johnny Wrestling was saying some weird shit, like, let's be honest, Miz knew he was never going to win a title. Miz knows he was never going to win that match. I mean, come on, Bobby Lashley. And I'm like, no, that's not what the Miz would absolutely try anything to win. He would use, if he paid Dexter Lumis off, he's going to have him help him win. There were so many holes in the story. None of it made sense, man. But I love Johnny Gargano. And at the end, he said that Miz still owed him money. Dexter got pissed for real, and now Dexter does want to take out Miz. The whole story was just stupid. The whole story made no... Yeah, Carlos Ray. It made no sense at all, bro. It just didn't, man. And again, much love to Johnny Wrestling. I'm down with story time. I had the remote down the entire fucking story. And I love I love the satire skit. Let's just fucking do something different. Whatever. On a show that saw straddling fucking ponies and pumpkin heads and just people losing their titles after 49 days. I just, listen, I'll watch Johnny Gargano tell a story. I just will. But guys, this made no sense. Like, we waited all this time for what the fuck are they doing with Dexter and Miz? What's the whole scenario? And if that is the legit story, wow. I don't know what the fuck H is smoking, but he needs to stay away from Matt Riddle. A women's tag team title main event was next. Asuka and Alexa Bliss versus Damage Control's Io Shirai, and Dakota Kai, your tag team champions. Bliss and Asuka defeat Io and Dakota. Alexa Bliss pins Io Sky, middle of the ring, and new tag team champions for the ladies, Alexa Bliss and Asuka. After just 49 days of a title reign for Damage Control. 49 days. And Triple H put the final nail into the coffin of Damage Control. This is the end of them. We know that. They needed consistent, great booking going forward for weeks now. And BC told you the last couple of shows. BC told you guys, I'm starting to really be down with thinking that there's some momentum here. Like, there's something going on where they're picking up a couple of W's consistent. 2, but it's still consistent. Like, let's make it 3 after last night. But 2 W's. 1 tag match for Io and Dakota, and then Bayley had a singles match last week. And then they beat up Candice LeRae in a cool fashion. They shoved down the camera so there's no visual evidence. You just hear Candice LeRae getting beat up. There were some little things that I started to see Triple H say, hey, you know what? We're going to give 3 amazing pro wrestlers, because that's what they are. Dakota, Io, and Bayley are fucking incredible. And we're going to, as a group, they should be fucking phenomenal to another level. And we're finally going to give them momentum. And it looked that way for a whole week. And then here we are last night, man. Last night. And Triple H said, just kidding. Joke. JK. Trick. No treat here. Just a trick. And put the final nail. Put it like a dagger into Damage Control. They're done. There's nothing you can do here, man. Bayley can show up to Crown Jewel and win all the titles herself. Bayley can win the fucking singles title from Bianca. But Bayley can then defeat fucking Alexa and Asuka by herself. Io and Dakota can win back the titles in just 5 nights, 4 nights, whatever the fuck it is. They can win them back. The same night Bayley wins a fucking... It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. There's been so many booking botches and so many devastating losses. I mean, this is a team that couldn't even beat Aaliyah and Raquel in the tournament. They couldn't even get the titles the right way the first time. They had to wait 2 more weeks, and then they finally fucking just barely defeated them. They couldn't even hold the titles 50 days, guys. 50 days. Just 50. Not even near 2 months. A month and a half. And then they were like, all right, that's all we got, man. A month and a half. We're done, man. And H's like, just make it one more week, man. We'll drop the titles. Just have enough gas for one more week. Come on, man. I don't know how anybody can think this is great. And I love Asuka. And I nothing but the best for Alexa Bliss. I'm so high on Alexa Bliss. The work she put in with Bray had made me, if not a fan, I'm really high on Alexa Bliss. I'm so happy for them on one hand because it's a moment for them. But how big is the moment? The tag titles are no better than toilet paper. They're not. And it's one-ply toilet paper. It's the worst type of toilet paper because it's non-existent. I told you guys. Tag team titles in a non-existent division is the same as having a NASCAR driver in a paddle boat, a swimmer in an empty pool, a chef in the middle of the forest. It doesn't work. You don't have a tag division. Sasha Naomi had to fucking walk out Sasha twice for the same fucking lies that were told to her. Sasha Banks walked out twice because she was fucking told that there's going to be a tag division. 2 separate times she's waiting and waiting. She's still fucking not seeing the tag division. Because they won't even set up a tag division. They won't even set up prestige for the titles. The titles aren't even prestige. EO. I get fucking choked up. Another fucking swig. Hold on. Because this needs to be said. EO and Dakota. EO and Dakota. 2 of the best female wrestlers in the world today cannot even hold the titles for 50 days. What does that do for the titles? Fuck the damage control. Okay, that helped ruin the group, right? That could be. That's most likely the final nail. They're done. But what does it do for the titles? The fact that even a team like that can't hold it for 2 months. Chat. Oh, about to hit 200 on the ups, too. Thank you, guys, man. Let's hit 200 while I ask you guys a serious question. And this is with respect to Alexa and Asuka, by the way. Much love to them. Any other time they win a title, we'd be like, fuck yeah! But it's not even doing anything for Alexa and Asuka, let's be honest. I mean, Asuka is back into another tag team. She's already had that tag title several times with other people. 2 separate tag reigns with 2 separate fucking tag team partners. And it never elevated Asuka or the titles or the division anywhere. It just held up Asuka into something because they have nothing for her singly. And Alexa, they have nothing for her. Alexa's already held the titles too before with Nikki Cross and somebody else, I believe. So for Alexa, this is nothing new either. They're just thrusted together because they have nothing. For the last 3 months, they were just in Bianca's business. Bianca has a beef with the damage control, and evidently Asuka and Alexa need to be right there. All of a sudden, they're a huge friendship. And now we're after the pay-per-view, and we're still seeing Asuka and Alexa come to the aid of Bianca because they don't have anything, because Paul Levesque refuses to do good booking by these women. So this doesn't even do anything for Alexa and Asuka. Now they're just tied up in a tag team for longer. If you're an Asuka fan, or if you're an Alexa fan, and I love both of them, what does this do for them? Now you're just going to see him in fucking tag team matches when Paul Levesque feels the need to fucking put him out there. Or you might just see him drop the titles back to Damage Control in a week or 2. We could play some hot potato and help to ruin everybody even more. Chat. Carlos, I have no fucking idea. That's exactly what I'm saying, right? I mean, isn't that what Paul is saying? She's in a tag team now. There's no chance to have Alexa Bliss do anything with Bray in the near future. Sadly. How do you not do it? You see, this isn't one of those things where like we're playing Monday morning quarterback after the NFL Sunday, and now we're telling everybody what they did wrong. We think we can do it better. Man, this podcaster, he thinks he's so much better at writing wrestling. That's exactly what I'm saying. Are you fucking kidding me? Alexa and Asuka separately, I would have 100 different ways to catapult them that would interest all of us, or at least majority. Every age range, I try to ding up in some type of way within one segment and storyline. How do you not have anything for Asuka and Alexa for years? How? After the Bray Wyatt thing, they were lost. Just carry the doll. Carry Lily. She's making us a lot of money. Just carry her. Guys, chat, I really want to ask you guys, man, and I mean this, man, all over dramatics aside, the over embellishing, the over animation to entertain you guys, in all seriousness, how the fuck do you book Damage Control like this and have their 49-day title reign end on a Monday Night Raw, days before a pay-per-view? You didn't even give them the courtesy to drop it at a pay-per-view. I saw some fucking moron go, it's okay because titles have to sometimes change hands on the shows to keep them interesting. Are you a fucking numbskull? How fucking stupid can one person be? They change hands all the time on the shows now. There's no reason to give the Peacock any of your money. Carlos, so fucking bad, bro. I can't even, you know, and it's Alexa and Asuka. I love Asuka and so high on Alexa. So it's not even to them, but it's for them as well that I am this frustrated because it does nothing for them but tie them down with more nonsensical, irrelevant booking. Even with with the titles, you're booked even worse in WWE. Unless it's Roman. JR9, what do you know about these releases, man? NXT just released some developmental talents. Somebody just set up in the chat. Was that Osia? Osia, what's up? JR9, what do you know about these releases? Are these anybody of relevance? Anybody that BC should keep an eye on? Somebody let me know about these releases that just happened, or if they are indeed. Thank you, JR9. 4 are just recruits that never got on TV yet. Okay. All right. No, Johnny Thunder, what was it? What was the backstage segment? Are they teasing a breakup? What was the deal, Johnny, if you don't mind? While somebody tells me about the backstage, whatever happened backstage after the match. Guys, 49, this is unacceptable. This is not good booking, and we would slam Vince for this. We have to be honest and say that Triple H botched this night. This has nothing to even do with a Halloween theme show that just wants to put smiles on people's face after they got done trick-or-treating and are eating candy. This is just booking that has helped to fucking hurt, if not ruin, hurt these talents going forward. How the fuck do you book Nikki Cross to lose flat on her back on her debut match back as Nikki Cross? And she's flat on her back and then rolls out of the ring like she's passed out after everyone else fights. How do you book the Money in the Bank briefcase holder like Austin Theory to lose again and then turn a blind eye like it doesn't matter and just say, but it was a good match? Austin Theory, 2 heels together, and Theory loses just like Nikki Cross. It makes no sense. How do you have Damien Priest of Judgment Day just lose to Carl Anderson for no fucking reason? How do you have Damage Control lose their titles after just 49 days on a Monday Night Raw? None of this makes sense to BC. None of this makes sense. Yeah, what happened on that? Is the backstage segment. Quincy Elliott has been released. That's a rumor. Is that a valid rumor? So a bunch of, is this a Black Tuesday for NXT possibly? I'm seeing a lot of releases, and they do have their quarterlies coming up tomorrow, correct? The quarterly earnings report, I believe, is coming up this week. This could be also releases for World Wrestling Entertainment as well for the main roster. So this could be a Black Tuesday coming up. If so, I'll try to be live with you guys later if there's a full list of people that are getting released. But this could be very bad for that roster. Nobody is going to want to answer their phones in the next 48 hours because there's a big conference call happening. And usually this is where WWE will fire a bunch of people. But oh wait, they can do no wrong. It's only when the talent leaves because they feel they've been mistreated. That's when how dare you violate your contract. But when WWE violates their contract, I know, not legally, but they can fire. They got the power when you sign a contract. They can literally release you, and it's not against the law. It's in the contract. I can release you, but you can't go anywhere. Vince McMahon can do no fucking wrong. Vince McMahon just gained another fucking $500 million since he announced his retirement, by the way. Vince McMahon, who's still majority shareholder owner of World Wrestling Entertainment, Vince McMahon is making more money now than when he was supposedly in the CEO role. WWE is making more money now than before the investigation. And now you're going to do cuts and releases and fire people? Greed, guys. That's a business that is out for just greed. Yeah, I was looking forward to badass Nikki Cross too, man. I'm not saying she should have lost to Bianca. What I am saying is that she never should have been in a match with Bianca. Because neither can lose. Just befuddling, man. I want to go over to anybody that was here just for the review portion of this, man. Much love and respect to all you guys. Honestly, even if you didn't agree with everything BC said, or I was a little harsh on somebody that you really like, thank you for at least understanding that I love this fucking whatever this is, whether you want to call it a sport or just entertainment, I love professional wrestling. I want to see WWE succeed, and I try my best to help out. Am I animated a little bit? Absolutely. I have an entertainment show with hundreds live and thousands that are going to catch this over the next 24 hours. So yeah, we're going to entertain, no doubt. We're not just going to be like, and then in hour number 2, Otis wore a pumpkin. We're not going to do that. But I thank you guys for understanding where I am coming from, and I want the best possible product. We're not always going to agree on everything, that's fine. But just know that my words are coming from a very great place. And I want to see, just like you, the best possible product. And I am telling you, whether you like the show or not, that's fine. That's in the eye of the beholder, right? That's where we can agree or disagree. I liked it. You didn't. You did, and I didn't. But in terms of if it was a good show, not if you liked it or not. No, there's too many holes and too many bads and negatives that need to be corrected. We went over them. That's factual, right? This is factual. I'm not just picking all this because it's what I didn't like. Because in some of this, I'm saying I actually like Johnny Gargano telling a story. I was all for it. It just didn't make sense. I love R-Truth. What he's doing and smacking his pony on the way down, it's fucking weird. Ali talking about Mrs. Penis is weird. Otis wearing a pumpkin. 49-day title reign for Damage Control. What is it doing? Nothing. So this is why I'm so passionate, right? Is it animated? Absolutely. But I am passionate. I am amplified because I love this shit. So I am grateful if you do listen to BC, watch BC, and you go, you know what? I'm going to fuck with this dude because he's legit. I don't agree with everything, but I'm smashing that sub, man, because I'm gonna ride with this dude. I appreciate that. I really do. Because trust me, I scare a lot of people off because I'm so amplified and I'm so truthful. So if you take a moment to fucking smash it up and show appreciation, that does not go by the wayside. Over 200, for instance, right now, that doesn't go to the wayside. I see that and I fucking appreciate that so much because I know that there's other people that want to see the best product possible, not just what they like. It's a big difference, guys. So honestly, guys, JR9, I appreciate you guys. You know that. Big time. Hugely. It's not about if you always agree with me or not. It's just about wanting the best possible. I say this about AEW as well. I just don't pick companies here. I want the best possible product, and I'm going to be extra harsh about it. Because somebody needs to, man. We're always just saying like, oh, but I like this, and that's why it's good. Anyway, I can go a whole hour on that. If you came just for the review, much love and respect to you. I hope to see you guys down the road, man, in the future with other videos, live streams, whether audio format or not. And so salute so long to you guys who came just for the review. If anyone wants to stick around for a little bit, I'm going to go over some super chats. And I know there was a bunch. And I'll shoot the shit for a little bit longer. And I'll make sure that I get everybody in. Don't worry. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. Thank you. Crazy Country Boy. Thank you. Hold on. I gotta make sure I even get this up. That would be for starters. Hey, BC, how about you actually get the fucking thing up, man? That's what she said. No, for real. Dave Mealy started this thing off before we were even live with $199.99, a $200 banger bomb. Now, if you guys have been watching this week, you already see the fire and the bombs going up. Man, the banger bombs are already off in the chat. Dave Mealy. If you've been watching the channel, Dave Mealy has already fucking delivered banger bombs. Check this out. Sorry, Donnie the Demon. I gotta show this. Check this out, man. Yep. Oh, it's heavy. It's fucking brand new refilled, man. My fucking Yankees thing. My Yankees fucking suck. Absolute fucking horrible. Oops, sorry. I'm breaking the fucking set over here. Just like my Yankees, destroy everything in their path, including themselves. Look at this fucking, look at all this coffee. Dave. That's what you're contributing to, bro. I don't know if Dave's still up in the chat. But Dave, that's what these banger bombs, bro. I got fucking Starbucks. I got Dunkin' Donuts. I got more Dunkin'. I got French vanilla. I got hazelnut. I got fucking, what else do I got? I got Folgers 100% Colombian. I gotta fill that one up, actually. So wait, my point is, I got a shit ton of fucking coffee, Dave. And Dave is making sure that I have enough for the rest of the year. Now, obviously, I'm just joking, man. I'm always going to have coffee, guys. Super chats are never needed, ever. I'm always going to have coffee. I am set. They're appreciated, not needed. So I always hate when I see somebody go, BC, I'm sorry I couldn't throw you a coffee. You ain't got to be sorry for shit. I don't need any coffee from anybody. I make plenty. Outside of pro wrestling, I assure you. This is just you guys showing that appreciation, tipping the content creator if you can. And when Dave Mealy takes it to another fucking level and literally supplies a week's worth of fucking coffee, because I drink a lot of coffee, guys, that's fucking next top level. My point is, if you've been watching this week, Dave Mealy has been dropping fucking banger bombs for like 3 live streams in a row and even a $50 banger bomb in a regular video. Not even joking. So here I am coming back with my Dunkin' Donut coffee, and I see a fucking blink up. I didn't get to see who it was up first, but I'm like, is that a fucking banger bomb? Watch that be Dave. So Dave, man, so fucking badass, dude. Much appreciated. I could spend an hour saying how appreciative I am. Dave says, follow these steps to make an amplified entrance. Number 1, arrive. Number 2, drop a banger bomb. Number 3, leave a funny yet truthful comment while doing your best Chandler Bing from Friends impression. Oh, Chandler. And Dave Mealy says, could there be any more proof that Vince is still involved? Question mark, question mark, question mark. 4, give that like button a smash. 5, leave. That's the 5 steps. Arrive, drop a bomb, leave a funny yet truthful comment while doing your best Chandler Bing. And 4, give that like button a smash. 5, leave. And the Chandler Bing is, could there be any more proof that Vince is still involved? I love it. Dave Mealy. Did I hit Chandler okay? Could I be any more annoyed with this show? If you guys have never seen Friends, there's a character called Chandler, and he's always dramatic and amplified to his when he's befuddled. So he says things like, could this be any more weird? Ali's looking at this dude's crotch. Fucking poor Miz. Could he be any more odd with a pumpkin on his head? Anyway, that's Chandler. And I love, man, Friends real quick. I never watched the show faithfully, but I love Pivot. Anybody that watches Friends, or even if you don't watch Friends like BC, you want to Google that later and you want to check that out. It's just type in Friends Pivot, Pivot, and you're going to see Ross. They're trying to carry a couch up the stairs and they can't get the couch up the stairs. And there's like 4 of them trying it. And so Ross is at the bottom and he's like, pivot. And Chandler turns around, shut up. It's hilarious. Thank me later, guys. Anyway, Dave, look what you started, man. Now you got me talking funny fucking Friends moments. Dave, come on, bro. Dude, more than enough, honestly. Thank you, dude. That's man, you can't even thank somebody enough for all those coffees, and I drink a lot. So, Dave, what a way to start this off, man. There's no better way. When I saw that, I was like, oh, we getting amplified, it looks like. Sure enough, we just did over an hour and a half of screaming, and hooting, and hollering, and ranting because you started it. This is off the right way. Dave, salute. Let me give you a proper one, man. And thank you to my unit for throwing those banger bombs into the chat, by the way. Pivot! A lot of you guys remember that pivot. You're the best, Dave. Thank you, dude. And then my right-hand man with a couple of 10 fucking spots, man. JR9 Gaming, always there when I have something that needs to be answered immediately because I'm fucking live. And I got to get this vid out to the thousands that are going to watch this over the next 24 hours. So JR9 Gaming, always there, dude. Thank you. Salute even before I read these. JR9 says, Damage Control is the worst booked faction since Retribution, which is why I want Toxic to split up on NXT, as this will be their fate, and JC Jane has so much potential, which WWE cannot afford to waste. Exclamation point, JR9. JC Jane and I even Mandy. I gotta say, JR9, I'm so impressed with what Mandy has been able to do and her booking. So them all together, I see Mandy Rose would just turn into where Bayley is now, where even she looks like she cannot head a legit faction, because that's what the main roster is going to do to them. So JR9, and you watch way more and are in tuned with what's going on in NXT more than me, but I totally fucking agree with that. And I like Toxic Attraction. They were a bright part of NXT for so long. I don't see how they go to the main roster collectively and are used properly. So that's just an exclamation point. And JR9 also says Triple H has a massive problem. He's botched 90% of those he's brought back and called up, from Candice and Gargano to Legado to Nikki Cross to Damage Control. The only two he's booked correctly has been Bray and Cross. And I never even thought about it that way, JR9. I knew it was bad for most. But you're right. I mean, I think you can literally, percentage-wise, and you're a numbers guy like BC, I think you can zone in on about 90% have been botched in some way or the other, and a lot of them brutally botched. So that's what I mean. All this praise for Triple H because of the little changes, and then we just say it takes time. You see a show last night with people that should not be losing, just shouldn't even be in a match with other people, because there's no way out of it to make both people booked correctly going forward. There's no way out, like Damien Priest just losing that match, or Austin Theory, the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, losing a match to another heel. That shouldn't have happened last night. Nikki Cross just got her identity back. Why is she losing last night? Why is she even in there with Bianca? Why are the tag title holders losing on Raw after 49 days? None of it makes sense. And most of these people are people that just came back and or got a name back, their identity, and it's the same type of booking. Johnny Gargano, I love that dude. What the fuck is he talking about? That Dexter Lumis Miz story made 0 sense. It had so many holes in it. I just don't understand what Paul Levesque is doing. Maybe he's stressed again. Maybe he's just putting more power into other people's hands and he's not correcting the bad shit. But JR9, I appreciate that, man, and I didn't even think of it that way. It literally, probably like 90%, you're right, Bray and Karrion might be the only ones. Maybe we can find maybe one other, but I'm sure you already did your due diligence and came up with just Bray and Karrion. JR9, always appreciate your inclusion on these streams, man. Christopher, one of my tried and trues and PB Silipride, are up next, man. Christopher with a $4.99 says, change the name from Damage Control because they haven't controlled shit since emerging at SummerSlam. No way they should have dropped the straps last night. Christopher, I'm mind-boggled by it, and that's not being over-dramatic. That's not over-embellishing. I'm befuddled that would even be an option on Triple H Paul Levesque's table. That somebody would absolutely fucking checkmark that and say, you know what? Approved. I love the idea. There's nothing you could do in the future. You could play hot potato and give it right back to Damage Control on Friday night or at Crown Jewel. It's not going to help. That's the final nail. Now you just force yourself to work 20 times harder just to make people believe that Damage Control is a badass faction. And it does nothing for the new title holders, Asuka and Alexa. They're playing the same game everybody else played. For Asuka, it's her third fucking time. She did this with Kyrie. She did it with Charlotte Flair. She's doing it now. She was already in a tag team with fucking Naomi. Other people. Asuka's already been in this situation. Now she's just a champion with Alexa. Ask Asuka how many times being a tag title holder in WWE has helped her or anybody else. Ask her. It'll be 0. Ask Sasha and Banks and Naomi, and then Sasha Banks and Bayley what the tag titles did for them or anybody else. Nothing. Goose egg. Nada. Nilch. Nein. The answer is no. It did nothing. These tag titles are non-existent because the division is non-existent. The tag titles are irrelevant because the tag titles are non-existent. So no, you're right. Christopher Blackshear. Christopher, you always got a good take, man. You're absolutely correct. Ever since their emergence at SummerSlam, and we all fucking marked the fuck out because it's three badass women who are really good at what they do career-wise, and now they're in a group, they should have taken the fuck over. Instead, we're talking about the final nail being placed into their coffin last night by Paul Levesque. And nobody wants to call Paul Levesque out on this because we're just supposed to praise him. We're supposed to put Paul Levesque on a fucking pedestal. He's our savior. Christopher, much love and respect. Always good seeing you up in here. Just like PB Silla Pride, $4.99. To the Timmies and the Jimmies. The Jerwies. The Timmies and the Jerwies and the Jimmies. All the fans that think we're too harsh. You know why the Amplified unit didn't find this show funny? Because we are all above the age of 9. PB Silla Pride. Come on, bro. That was great, dude. That was great. Yeah, listen. 85 to 90% of the audience up front is over the age of fucking 10. It's what the statistics say. It's the numbers. So anybody that goes, well, BC, you got to remember, they booked this for kids. No, they don't, or they shouldn't. I think it's just that bad. It's so childish. But they know their audience. Their audience is almost 90% over the age of fucking 10 or 12. They know this. PB Silla Pride. Funny shit, man. Dante Jaron 23. Dante, what up, dude? $4.99. Dante says, I think fans just hate Vince because there's been some changes to the shows. But overall, still the same. But I guess as long as it's not Vince, it's loved. Oh, I think you mean H, right? I think a lot of fans... Yeah, oh, Dante, yeah, because, so we already didn't like Vince, and then there's been some changes to shows, but overall it still feels the same. I guess as long as it's not Vince, it's loved. Oh, yeah, Dante, you're exactly right. And that's what people are doing, right? Anytime Triple H does any weird booking or just Vince McMahon-ish booking, everybody throws a lifeline to Paul Levesque. He can do no wrong right now. And we just hear the same shit. It takes time. Relax. We've already gotten a bunch of minor changes. The bigger ones are coming. No. Dante Jaron 23 knows. All of my amp unit knows. This doesn't take rocket science. This doesn't take a long time. You literally don't book Nikki Cross with Bianca. You don't have two heels like Seth and Austin in a match. You don't have your Money in the Bank briefcase holder losing all the time. You don't have Damien Priest, when Judgment Day is finally getting relevance, lose a match to Carl Anderson. You don't have the tag champions lose on Monday Night Raw after 49 days. This is shit you don't do. It's shit you don't do. This doesn't take time. This isn't, oh, just give it time, man. Change takes time. This is literally doing the same thing Vince did, just ruining talents or making them work 20 times as harder to try to get over in the future. That's what it's doing. You guys know I'm right, man. I'm speaking from factual experience. I mean, I dissected everything. I've broken it down. This isn't what I like or don't like. There are some things I had to tear apart in this review that some of the things, like I said, with Johnny Gargano even telling a story that I liked doesn't make it good. Johnny Gargano's story was so fucking stupid. Otis should not be fucking walking around with a pumpkin. But I loved the Chris Farley skit on the way down, the Chip and Dale shit, because SNL, I mean, Chad Gable and Otis finding his personality, there was things I liked. Doesn't make it good. Dante Jaron 23, no question, man. William F. Always good seeing William F. up in here. William F. So good to see you, man. 20 spot, man. Several Starbucks, not just fucking Dunkins. I appreciate that, William F. It's just so good to see you up in here. I didn't watch Raw last night because I thought it would be a bad show for Halloween. WWE hates titles and ruins everyone. William F., it was a Halloween-themed show, and you had some just batshit crazy booking botches, I call them. Booking botches. It's probably good you didn't. You didn't get the Halloween costume party we thought we were going to get backstage, but you got the trick or street fight. You had the guy walking around with a giant pumpkin on his head during a match. You had stupid ass costumes. You had people losing that had no business being in a match together. There was R-Truth doing his weekly fucking thing. Because it's Halloween, it was more goofy. Straddling and spanking a plastic pony. Can't make this shit up. So, and then you saw tag title holders after 49 days just handing them over. Because they have nothing for Alexa and Asuka. And they just decided, hey, let's just do this. William F. That's the best I could tell. That's the best recap I can give you in fucking 90 seconds. So good seeing you, William F. Hope all is good, man. Savage 1024, the Punisher, with a couple of 5-spot coffees. Savage says, Savage 1024, the Punisher says, I don't care what the yes men say. One of the amp unit, when the amp unit does nut, Raw should go back to 2 hours in the big 4 pay-per-views and better booking. Oh, I see, Savage. Yeah, you're going to get the best positive reviews from BC in the amp unit when you bring back less pay-per-views a year, like Savage says, the big 4, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, I'm set. If you want to add 1 or 2 more, okay. And when Raw's back to 2 hours. Even Triple H admitted, Paul Levesque said, that 3rd hour is so fucking hard to write, and it just is a ripple effect for the other 2 hours. So Savage, no fucking question. And Savage also with another spot. Savage 1024, the Punisher says, hearing how WWE operates kills the passion of pro wrestling because the WWE yes men fans are too blind to see talent in anyone. Yeah, that's the thing. It's the same operatives. Savage, you bring up a good point. It doesn't matter if H is in this role of head creator now or splitting the role basically with the CEOs, Stephanie and Nick Khan. It doesn't matter the power that H has that we think he has. If it's the same process, if everything is just redundant business-wise, if the formula doesn't change that much, just minimal, then we're getting the same exact shit just in a different way. Same formula, if that makes sense, though. But it's a slight, not even a notch, it's a slight, like, little twitch in the programming, right? Some people got their names back. Some people came back. Some matches are longer. But the formula, the same befuddling booking, the same nonsensical divisions and nonsensical matchups, the lack of reasoning, it's all on these shows, Savage. So you're 1,000,000% correct. I think what I'm trying to say here in a nutshell is just because somebody gets a title, like the role, not a championship, the role, like Triple H became all these new high-positioned gained all these high-position titles, you're going to have to do a lot more if you want BC to give you a 3-hour positive, more positive than negative review, because I'm not seeing it from last night, and the last few weeks on Monday Night Raw have not been up to par from what we expected by a Paul Levesque ran show. It takes time, BC. No, a lot of these problems could be fixed on night number 1, and they're not. Thank you, Savage. Osea Weidman, one of my faves up in here as well, my tried and trues with that 1999 20 spot. Osea says, I don't care what wrestler they bring back. If the creativity is trash, that won't mean anything. Osea, say it louder. Say it louder for those in the back. You are absolutely correct. Tony Khan showed this in AEW. Tony Khan would bring back somebody new, it seemed, every week. A big name, right? You get the initial pop, everybody, it's a buzz for 48 hours, and the next week the ratings would be right back down to 100 to 200,000 lower. Tony Khan realized, shit, it's not about bringing in more. I have to fucking get with the booking. And to this day, Tony Khan is still struggling with proper booking for everybody, or the majority. But we saw that, and it seems like H did the same thing. I brought back all of my people, supposedly. But what are you doing with them? What are we doing with it? How drastically different and better is the show? The past 3 weeks, you can't tell me that much. I appreciate the small changes that we've seen and people getting their names back, people getting their jobs back. I appreciate it. Some matches that are longer, okay. I appreciate, I don't know, the last pay-per-view seemed more important. You know, there's little things that they want to show you. They want you to believe that it's completely changed, but it's not. And we've had 3 Raws in a row that are just so fucking odd, and the booking makes no sense. And last night, I saw so many people flat on their back, looking up at the lights, taking an L that should have never even been in the match. Not even in the match. Osea, can you tell I completely agree? Chon Cena, Chaun, not John. Chon Cena with a $4.99 says, Tell me if I'm wrong. I thought the match with Bianca and Bayley was a title match last week. Why the hell were they in a match with each other? I still to this day don't know why. Until this day, it's only one day later, but I'm befuddled that they were even in the ring together because neither could lose. One is a Raw Women's Champion. She can't lose. One of them just got their personality and identity back. Nikki Cross. It's her first match back as Nikki Cross. Why are they in the ring? Now, is that true? Was last week a title match between the two? JR9 or anybody? Is anybody still in here just fucking rocking out with Super Chats with BC? Was that a title match last week? Bianca and Nikki? Because if so, then that's even more fucking odd that they would be in a match together just because Nikki fucking beat her up after or whatever the shit. I don't know. I'm on a delay with the chat too. Maybe you guys are seeing if somebody... Okay, so it wasn't a title match last. Okay, but they did have a match. Okay, it was supposed to be, but okay. All right, thank you guys. Thank you, WWE, AEW, Dave, James, Carlos, Jasmine, Crazy Country, Merrick, Melissa, Mean Dean. Thank you guys, man. Johnny B said Bayley told Damage Control she's getting back control at Crown Jewel. Okay, she can beat Bianca, and then what? Damage Control as a unit is too fucking damaged. If you're gonna have Bayley win the title, why not have the image of all three of them with the titles? And make Damage Control look legit. Why nights before would Damage Control lose their titles, and then all of a sudden, days later, Bayley gets one? It's like this company gets scared if somebody's going over. If somebody is actually gaining any steam, they're scared shitless. Sami Zayn made everybody laugh. Let's keep him off Monday night. Otis is great. Let's make him a mean mugging heel with no direction and no booking. So anyway, who was that? John Cena. I don't know. I'm being told that it wasn't a title match, but they did wrestle, and then I don't know. John Cena, I'm baffled, befuddled to the highest amplified of measures that Nikki Cross was in there with Bianca and then just ate that L. I'm because you can't make this shit up. I mean, only WWE would do this type of shit, man. AEW does stupid shit at times, but it's a little different than this, at least. I can't even fathom that somebody would approve this. Brand Q featuring Quincy, $4.99. Brand Q featuring Quincy. Appreciate it, dude. BC, how many relevant or mega faces are there in WWE? Brand Q featuring Quincy. Can I take that to the chat for some help? Guys, how many relevant or mega faces are there in WWE? Mega faces. Now, we're talking the levels of like a Hulk Hogan and Warrior back in the day, right? For their generation, or the next generation's Stone Cold or Rock. Or the next generation, even though it was like 50-50 reaction at times, but John Cena. Like, who is that type of person today? I don't know if there is one. Bray Wyatt is being positioned kind of in the middle right now, a little more face maybe. And then his alter egos, his different personalities are going to be heels. So Bray, I'm kind of on the fan. I'm a huge Bray Wyatt fan. That's my dude. But I can't even put Bray in that category yet. We still have to find out where this story's even going. Cody Rhodes is going to be that Q. Hold on, let me see that. Brand Q featuring Quincy. I think Cody Rhodes would be in a category. Edge, good call, guys. Edge. I think that's it. In all of WWE, I think that's the only one. Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley, many would say should be by now, but they're not. Drew McIntyre was botched 87 different ways. So you can't even call him a Hulk Hogan or a Stone Cold or a John Cena. He's just not, unfortunately. They botched him. And even saying Cody is, I mean, we still have to see how they book him when he comes back. I mean, that's giving Cody a lot of respect, but I have to do that. I mean, the dude was on fire before he left. Again, Bray Wyatt has the potential. We have to see where it leaks, but I don't know if he's going to be a full-blown massive face yet. Bray Wyatt takes us on a huge journey, guys. So that's it. I mean, even my chat is saying Edge and Cody, maybe. That's it, man. Yeah. So what Brand Q featuring Quincy just did, was he exposed a huge problem with WWE. They just don't make superstars. They just don't like to do it. And when somebody starts to get over, it's almost like they sabotage them internally. They internally sabotage their own talent to make sure that they know that they're not bigger than the company. We said this for 10 years with Vince McMahon. It seems like we're still saying this with Paul Levesque. Watch them botch Sami Zayn. JR9, watch them botch Sami Zayn, man. I mean, I hope not. Brand Q, I appreciate that, man. The fourth one with a 2-spot. I told y'all Vince will be back before Survivor Series. Fourth one, I truly believe he never left. Paul Levesque even said, of course, this was his words, of course, he's my father-in-law. Of course, I go to him and we talk shop. Who told you that was going to happen? Vince McMahon is in this dude's ear all the fucking time. He is the majority shareholder. Vince McMahon owns World Wrestling Entertainment, and his son-in-law is all of a sudden running everything. You think Vince is not fucking in his ear with everything? Everything! You are batshit gone bonkers. Exactly. Fourth one. A. Merrick with a 4-spot, just showing a coffee up there. A. Merrick, haven't seen you up in a long time, man. Good to see you up in here, A. Merrick, and I appreciate the coffee. More importantly, it's just good to see you up in the chat, A. Merrick. Dave Mealy said, hold my fucking coffee, I ain't done. Dave has a $9.99 and says, I'll always be able to handle the amplification. My speakers, on the other hand, maybe not so much. My phone keeps telling me that the volume is too loud. That fucking, it has that little level where it won't let you go higher until you like sign the agreement. You gotta press OK on the phone. So they're not liable if you lose your fucking hearing, right? BC is fucking bad for your health there, they're telling you, Dave. Dave, that's great shit, bro. Again, Dave, thank you so much for the banger bombs, bro. You're set for the fucking rest of the year, man. Not another coffee is needed. You've done a lot for the channel, dude, so I appreciate that big time, Dave. Too funny. I always do that too. I'm listening to my music so loud in the gym, and I go to, I know what the volume is, so I just do it in my pocket, and I'm pressing the volume, and it's not going higher, and I look, and sure enough, it's telling me it's a warning, like, if you go louder, this isn't good, and I'm like, well, let's go louder. I don't give a fuck if you're telling me it's good or not. I'm listening to my music on volume fucking 110. I'm not trying to fucking call for parents' permission. Dave Mealy, all the best, man. Dave, pivot. Could it be any more strange, this show? Could this show be any more fucking befuddling? Chandler Bing. Savage, 1024, The Punisher, another 10 spot, says Vince hates personality. He wants you to be who he wants you to be, and that's why I don't want to work for WWE. Well, you're smart, because even though he retired, he would still have a say in your booking, Savage. Because you're right. Otis is just an example, because he's walking around called the tree trunk with a pumpkin on his head last night. And he said he screams, for one night only, I'm going to have a personality, and he does the fucking caterpillar, the old Scotty Too Hottie. And then that's it. And then, and he did the cool SNL skit with the Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze with Gable. I mean, that's funny, right? We have a good laugh. And then it's Otis going right back into whatever the fuck he's in right now. He tells you to just smile. You can never smile enough. And when it backfires, he goes, it just didn't work, kid. Savage also has a 5 spot, man. Savage 1020 for The Punisher says, imagine if WWE was to go out of business tomorrow and they were bought by Tony Khan like Vince bought WCW in 2001. Well, I'm telling you right now, man, for people that say that would never happen, if WWE ever sold, first of all, just to somebody who just didn't have any intention to do anything, they just thought it'd be a quick buck, it failed, and then they just sell. WWE could sell to somebody. It happened with WCW. There was different people running it at times to the point where fucking finally Warner just said, I don't even want this anymore. And that's why they sold to Vince McMahon for peanuts. So WWE is always open to selling. Nick Khan has said that. Stephanie, Vince, everybody has remained very honest with that. They're always, every day, anybody that wants to call, they're listening. They could always sell. The people after 1 year could say, hey, this just didn't turn a profit. We don't want to handle this anymore. It's too much work. And Tony Khan would be there with his father and a checkbook. And that's not even a diss, man. He's got a rich father. I'm not going to shade that. Congratulations. I had pretty fucking poor parents, unfortunately. I grew up in projects, so I can honor that shit and respect that, man. If BC had rich parents, man, I hope you guys be happy for me. But Tony Khan would be there with his billion-dollar father and an open checkbook. And World Wrestling Entertainment would now be owned by AEW's boss, Tony Khan. Guys, it's not like it's that fucking crazy. You know, and some people are like, it would never happen. No, I've seen the craziest shit. I never thought Vince McMahon would own WCW with the rivalry that Bischoff had with McMahon. It's just, bro, it could happen, Savage. And if that ever, Tony Khan would be the new monopolizer. But he's got his own issues right now. He's got to fucking bulk up AEW and even a second fucking promotion that he bought, ROH, who he's trying to strike that TV deal with. Savage, much respect, man. RD with a 2-spot. Wonder why Nikki was even brought back last week, BC. Me too. They ended the show with Nikki Cross in her old identity. Crazy Nikki's back, and we thought, damn, they're going to give her some immaculate booking. The women's division just got shook up. And 7 nights later, Nikki Cross is flat on her back looking up at the fucking lights. You can't make it up, RD. I am baffled by this Nikki Cross shit. Ray Hunt. What up, Ray? 5-spot. H putting the belt on Asuka and Alexa also means plans to reunite Alexa and Bray have been scrapped. So you just ruined 2 things at once. You ruined everything at once, Ray Hunt. You ruined Alexa and Asuka with the titles because now they're trapped in a tag team. That's a nonsensical division. There's no division. Everybody that's ever held those titles will tell you, and there's been a lot already. The titles have only been around a few years, and there's already been fucking 8,000 champions. But they will tell you it's done nothing for us. In fact, it hindered us. It weighed us down. The titles are just weighing down the individuals that have to carry them. Literally and figuratively through the airport, literally and figuratively because there's no division. So it hurts Asuka and Alexa. It damages Damage Control. The final nail has been placed by Paul Levesque. And it also damages any possible work with Bray Wyatt and Alexa in the future. And so many other things. It damages everything, Ray Hunt. Absolutely correct. Adam Caraxon. What up, Adam? $9.99. This kind of booking is why Sasha and Naomi left in the first place. Thank you. Say it louder for those in the back. Exclamation point, Adam. I put a whole video up a couple days ago. Thank you guys, man. We're headed toward 5,000 views on that audio format only. So 5,000 of you were headed toward to catch that audio only 20-minute video. It was just the truth about what happened with Sasha and Naomi. I held back no punches. I told you every factual piece of evidence that we have, and that is the truth of why Sasha and Naomi left. And I appreciate that for all you guys that checked that out. Showed that love. So I got Dave Mealy's fucking banger bomb. I got Jer9 Gaming, Christopher Blackshirt, PB Silver Pride, Dante Jaren 23, William F, Savage 1024, The Punisher, Ostia Wyman, Sean Cena, 4th one, A Merrick, Adam Caraxon, Ray Hunt, RD. I got everybody in that first round. Now, was there more while I was going over that first round? I don't know. I will check now. Yes, there was. Okay. All right. I got some more here, so I'll stay as long as it takes, man. Everybody's going to get a shout out. You know the deal, man. So I'm going to stick around, shoot the shit some more. DB for life with a 5-spot says, if WWE won't build up Damage Control, what will that tell you? What they'll do with Sasha and Naomi when they come back? Nothing will change. Exactly right. Exactly right. They have to know. See, Sasha and Naomi have a better relationship with H. That's fine. But look at what is happening. If they come back if Sasha and Naomi come back, it should not be as a tag team, guys. I said in that video, I'll give you a little bit of spoiler. At the end, I said when they come back, Naomi deserves because she has earned better booking. And Sasha has earned her right at the top of the female mountain for pro wrestling, at least in WWE. I don't even know why anybody would bring them back together. They were thrown together because they had nothing for them, which is criminal. And now everybody is acting like they need to come back together. Why? Why? They don't. Sasha Banks is one of the best female wrestlers on her own. Naomi is a fucking human highlight reel. Fuck that shit. There's no division anyway. Jasmine. Exactly, Jasmine. Adrienne, they definitely can be said. They have to be. They deserve so much more. I say that about Asuka and Alexa. It's a shame that they have to be in a tag team, being held down by fucking insignificant, irrelevant titles. Maybe Io and fucking Dakota are so happy to get rid of that shit. DB for life, exactly right. Carlos! You know, you ain't got it, bro. 20 spot. Carlos Ray, man. Carlos says, BC, it's Mandy's 1 year anniversary show tonight on NXT. Should be on fire. Yeah, she celebrated the actual 1 year just a few days ago. And I mentioned that. I think we were live. And now they're going to celebrate it publicly tonight. Carlos, I will be watching that segment somehow. I don't know if it's not live. I will be catching that and I will talk about it because I'm actually high on what Bailey. I wish I was high on what Bailey's doing. Damage control. What Mandy Rose is doing with Toxic Attraction. And I'm not saying that GG is one of the best things, but fucking what JC is doing and what Mandy is doing. It's so I can just put so much respect on it because they're taking everything that they've gotten and they're just hitting home runs nonstop. I know that may seem odd to some of you that I'm so high on what Mandy Rose is doing with Toxic Attraction, but she's really knocking out of the park. 1 year with the title, and she's made it prestigious. This is what I mean about long title reigns. And somebody really going all in and being, acting like a fucking champion. Being perceived as a champion. Mandy Rose was doing good work before she went to NXT. What she was doing with Dolph Ziggler, Sonya Deville, and Otis was a great storyline, and she was really meshing so well with everybody. And when she got called over there, after the storyline went to shit, they didn't have anything for her. She went over to NXT, and did she really improve and make a name for herself to anybody that doubted her. So anyway, where am I going with this? I think that's awesome, Carlos, and I have nothing bad to say about Mandy. She's actually, Carlos, I agree, man, up in the live chat. She's killing it in NXT. I totally agree, Carlos. I couldn't agree anymore, actually, so I'll just put an exclamation on that. And I will be watching that segment because, A, she deserves the respect for people to watch that, because that's an accomplishment. You guys see how much I hate short title reigns, like 49 days, because it does nothing for anybody. But when you hold it for a fucking year or 2 years like Roman, I love that. Old school wrestling, where a title is prestigious, and because of that and vice versa, the champion is prestigious. Love it. Carlos, cannot thank you enough, bro. Always good. With your input up in this shit. And Brandon Gulej, $9.99. Brandon says, hey, BC, been a minute, been focusing on work. Been enjoying Triple H TakeOver since Vince left. What are your thoughts on potential matches for WrestleMania in a couple months? Red Team, go! Coffee's over to BC. Brandon, appreciate it. I'm glad that you're crushing it at work, man. Focus, make that money, crush it every fucking day. Do not take a day off mentally, man. Crush it, be better than everybody else. And you'll reap the rewards, not just financially. So good to see you up in here, though, Brandon. As far as potential matches for WrestleMania, I can just right now stick with it. One thing that has to happen, and that's 2 separate matches for Roman, a title each night. None of this unified title shit. It needs to be, the titles need to be separated. Raw and a SmackDown title, World Championship, Universal, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Roman has to have a match on Saturday night, WrestleMania Night 1, and Sunday night, WrestleMania Night 2. One of them has to be the fucking Rock. The other has to be Cody. Now, there's options, right? Not Bray. Bray is not an option. JR9 likes to see Sami Zayn. If the story is told properly, by mid-December, I will have a better gauge on this. I might be okay with Sami Zayn being one of them. For instance, if The Rock can't do it. I think JR9, even if the story is told properly, would take Sami over Cody. It's respectable. I need to see more. Bray Wyatt is not an option, and that's my favorite wrestler in the company, so that's when you know I'm being honest with you guys. I don't want to see my favorite wrestler anywhere near the title picture right now because it will not benefit Bray or anybody else. Bray does not need a championship right now. He's already on top of the mountain. Some guys just don't need titles, man. Undertaker spent his whole career, a lot of it, nowhere near a title. Now, later on, he started garnering some title reigns, but he never needed it. Let's be honest, especially the dead man character at first. I mean, for years, he didn't need that shit. Bray Wyatt doesn't need that. So, no, I don't want to see my boy Bray anywhere near the title picture for WrestleMania. But Cody, The Rock, Sami, if done correctly. That's it. 2 separate matches. That's your fucking main event on each. And then I'm going to give one more piece of a BC-ism here, all right? Brandon Gouledge. Brandon, I want to see Sasha Banks in a main event caliber match. I don't care if it's the end match or not. She's already done that with Bianca anyway. She needs to be winning the world fucking title for the women. SmackDown or Raw Women's Championship. Not a tag team title. No farce. No bullshit loss. Flat on her back looking up. Sasha Banks hoisting the fucking title up high. Fireworks Palooza. And Sasha finally gets the moment that she has earned for fucking years. As we get closer to January, Brandon, I'll be giving you much more matches that come to mind. I don't want a fantasy book or amplified book yet because WWE always seems to let us down with this shit. And then BC is left with his own card that was 87 times better. Well, but Brandon, that's just some initial thoughts. Stay tuned to the channel, though. There'll be a lot more about WrestleMania, man. It's my favorite season. Not just because it's the best season for pro wrestling for WWE. It's just so much fun. Or it should be. Over the years, it's kind of been downgraded. We'll see what it is under Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Paul Levesque. Brandon, I appreciate it. Savage, 1024 The Punisher, another coffee, 5 spots. Is BC, am I the only one that is losing interest in Full Gear because there's no build-up to other matches on the pay-per-view except MJF and Moxley? What is the Full Gear card, Savage, or anybody in the chat? Because you're right. All I really know about is Mox and MJF. And by the way, 250 up in the chat on the likes. I appreciate that, guys. Just shooting the shit, talking super chats. So as we take that to 300, I appreciate that. What's the Full Gear card, Savage? Because I agree with you. I don't see any reason that people need to start throwing money other than to see if there's going to be an MJF swerve in this Mox match. Jared9, Eliminator Tournament Oh yeah, we have to do more tournament shit because fuck storylines. Just act like wrestling is fucking just real, and let's just see who the best in the world is to get a championship. So it's another Tony Khan tournament we're doing, because we haven't seen enough. Nobody else has any other thing. Iman is just like, it's gonna suck. I don't blame you, bro. MJF and Mox is the only announced match. Wait a second, isn't it in just a couple weeks? Isn't it like fucking, when is it? What's the date? How can there only be 1 or 2 matches announced? Somebody give me the date, man. I got to stop the stream in its tracks real quick. November 13th or 19th. Wait, that's in 2 weeks. So it's coming up in 2 weeks, and there's only 2. I can't even. Tony Khan, man, he used to do pay-per-views the right way. November 19th. Thank you, guys. Couple weeks. Man, I don't even understand. He's too busy giving away big matches on TV, and he's just got his hands in so many cookie jars. You only got 2 hands. If you buy 27 cookie jars, you're limiting yourself to what you could possibly do with the 27 cookie jars. Well, there you go. You're not the only one losing interest in it, Savage, because there is no interest because Tony Khan didn't give a fuck about it. He's putting all his eggs in the one basket, MJF and Mox, and hoping that everybody just pays their money for it. Best way I can put it. JR9 Gaming with that 2 spots says 2022 has had 71 roll-ups and 101 champions losing. Damn. JR9 is supplying you with that statistic. So if anybody just thought BC critiques too harshly, listen to what JR9 just dropped. 2022 already, which still has a couple months left, has 71 roll-ups and 101 champions losing. And you wonder why there's no interest in a lot of this shit. It's people like BC that are just overly harsh and negative? No. We're just calling out the shit and hoping that it changes in the right direction, and it never does. JR9, that is just, you always have fucking statistics that mind boggle BC, but that is just, I shouldn't even be shocked, by the way. DB for life with a 5 spot says WWE is ruining debuts, returns, and call-ups. Emma loses her first match. Nikki loses her return. Johnny and his wife are 50-50 booked. I didn't even think of that, DB. Emma just came back Friday and she just got fucking fed to Ronda. And then we found out afterwards that Emma has signed a long-term contract with WWE. Then why have her debut just to get shit on? You might as well just have her go in the ring and save her everybody 7 minutes and just let Ronda take literally a shit on her and then use the fucking Charmin toilet paper, aka the Tag Team Women's Championships, and wipe her fucking ass over her. You might as well have just done that. Same thing that happened to Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross and Emma were brought in just to get shit on. You could have done that with jobber matches. It would have been the same level of interest, and no other superstar would have been ruined. DB for life. But we're criticizing it too much, man. Just watch it, man. Just watch it. Sit back and enjoy pro wrestling. Don't worry about it. I want to enjoy it. I'm trying to do what you're telling us to do. I want to enjoy it. To enjoy it, I have to care about the characters. I can't say this enough, man. In closing, I want to leave you guys with these words because it's so fucking important, man. And I think everybody, man, everybody that threw BC a coffee, no matter 1 or 2 fucking coffees, not even needed. To fucking like Dave Mealy banger bombs. All you guys, I appreciate it. Everyone that just drop the fucking like. Just smash the up is all I ask for. I leave you with this, okay, for this live stream. In any show or movie that you watch and love, is it because you cared about the fucking characters and the ride that they were on? That's why we love shows, whether it's Walking Dead, it could be the fucking Simpsons, it could be Breaking Bad. Somebody mentioned Chicago Fire last night, whatever that is. It could be Grey's fucking Anatomy. It could be the Powerpuff Girls or the Power Rangers. Alf. Mission Impossible. Halloween. Nightmare on Elm Street. Dazed and Confused? What's your favorite movie? I don't know. What's your favorite movie, Amp Unit? What's your favorite show? Why do you care about it? It's because you care about the characters, correct? You love that shit. You want to see what happens next with them. You want to be on the ride with them. We're trying to do that with pro wrestling. That's how we grew up. The Warrior, Hogan, Undertaker, Steve Austin, Rock. It could be Al Snow. The Big Boss Man, the Mountie. Batista, Eddie Guerrero. You didn't have to be the biggest guy. We cared about where you were going. We cared about you. We can't do that anymore, man. There's no care because everybody is 50-50 booked. Everybody is losing weird, nonsensical matches. Titles don't even mean anything. And it's clear it's not just Vince McMahon because he's been in charge for months. And Paul Levesque is booking the same fucking way. Sorry, not sorry if I have to tell the truth. Sorry, not sorry if I have to be the one to say this shit to all of you. But you know deep down that I am being absolutely 1,000,000,000% honest. And I will always be 1,000,000,000% honest with you guys. Always. Otherwise, I will stop having this channel. Much love and respect to every single one of you. It's been a wild nearly 2.5 hours. I can't wait to do this again. The battery is running low. I can't do a shout out to everybody, a roll call. But just know, the Amp Unit collectively, you are the fucking best. Thank you for sticking with BC. And I assure you, it's only going up and better from here. Because we're going to drop fucking truth. And we're going to make everybody in these companies listen so that it gets better for all of us. Better for the fans, better for the wrestlers, and better for the companies. And we will get pro wrestling back to where it should be. Till next time, BC and I'm out. Top guy saying check you. Thank you so much. And we'll do this again soon. Peace out, man. Much love and respect to all you guys. Thank you. I'm out. Salud.